What is relationship addiction? Relationship addiction is a behavioral pattern where someone becomes emotionally or psychologically dependent on being in a relationship. Step 1. Understand the core concept. Key traits: fear of being alone, constant need for romantic attention, staying in unhealthy or toxic relationships, jumping quickly from one relationship to another. Step 2. Recognize the signs. Here are common indicators. You feel anxious or empty when single. You repeatedly choose partners who are emotionally unavailable or abusive. You sacrifice your identity or values to keep a relationship. You confuse intensity, drama, passion with intimacy. You use relationships to escape loneliness, boredom, or low self-worth. Step 3. Explore the root causes. Relationship addiction often stems from childhood emotional neglect or abandonment, low self-esteem or identity confusion, unresolved trauma or attachment wounds, cultural or media-driven beliefs about love and worth. Step 4. Learn the cycle. Relationship addiction tends to follow a predictable emotional loop. Feeling incomplete or anxious when single, seeking intense connection quickly, losing boundaries, becoming overly enmeshed, realizing the relationship isn't fulfilling, feeling devastated or desperate when it ends, jumping into a new relationship to soothe the pain. Step 5. Begin healing. If you suspect relationship addiction, here are first steps. Practice being alone. Learn to enjoy solitude and self-connection. Educate yourself. Read about attachment styles and emotional regulation. Seek support, therapy, support groups, or trusted mentors. Build self-worth. Focus on passions, goals, and inner validation. Pause before dating. Reflect on your patterns and motivation. Step 7. Reclaim your power. Healing from relationship addiction is about rediscovering your identity outside of romance, learning to set boundaries and honor your needs, cultivating relationships based on choice, not need. Relationship journal prompt. What do I believe a relationship will fix in me, and how can I begin to nurture that within myself instead? We're not just a YouTube channel. We are your new attitude. Your support and donation helps us reach hearts that need emotional encouragement. This is New Attitude TV Streaming Network. Thank you for watching, listening, and subscribing. Share our channel with your friends and family.
Healed or healing means acceptance. It means maturity. It means thinking differently. It means helping others. It means better health, seeking wisdom. It means never ending, because I will always keep healing. It means knowing where you come from and knowing where you want to go.
Oh, everything is more extreme. In the narcissistic style, there's a deficit in empathy. In NPD, there's no empathy. The narcissistic style would try to leverage people, to use people.
Cool. So we're gonna have this boat, and we're gonna call it. It's gonna be like the love boat. Everybody, if you're seeking to have a long-lasting relationship, a lot of people on a farm. So this is the shore. We had two people who decide, hey, we like each other. We've been on dates. Let's give love a shot. So now what they do is they jump into this ocean and hop on the love boat. So the love boat is really glamorous. A lot of people love being on there because they can take selfies, they can take pictures, they can go on vacations, and it's supposed to be the vehicle that takes you to whatever your ultimate goal or destination is for a relationship. But what people don't realize is that this boat goes through multiple storms. Actually, it looks for them. The boat is always in the midst. It would not always. It is likely that they encounter storms. Matter of fact, when you get on the boat says there will be storms. But because the boat is so luxurious, people don't read that. They see the sails, they see the pictures that they get to take, they see all the fluffy stuff. And when the storm actually hits, there's two things that happen. People often will throw a life raft off. They'll get out of the boat and they'll go over here and they'll float and they'll leave the relationship. And so essentially when you get off that boat and you're no longer on there, you got to find your own way back to shore to start all over again. And so many times in relationships, people get into this cycle of they find somebody, they get in a relationship, but they jump off again. And now they got to swim back eventually to start this whole process over again. All because there's a storm and they don't see how they can get through it. So what people don't realize is that the more you jump off the boat, you're always in this rat race of finding someone starting over. And this is tiring. This part is where you hear everyone say, man, I'm tired of dating. There are no good prospects. There's no one good out there in the world. Not realizing that this storm is inevitably going to come to every single relationship you have at some point, and people jump off. But the goal over here, there's an island over here that everyone strives to get to. And this is called Peace Island. And the giant,
You see it, right?
Peace
At New Attitude Streaming Network, we believe in you rebuilding your life, especially after surviving narcissistic abuse. If this message speaks to your heart, join our membership, donate to support our content, grab a piece of our merch to wear your healing with pride. Every dollar goes directly into empowering this TV programming and building a peaceful, safer, and more grounded community. For all of us. Tap the links below, tag someone who needs this today, and remember, you are not alone. This is NATV. This is your new attitude. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching.
Space of fiction where the narcissist embeds you is divorced from the world and from reality, of course, and is devoid of friction and pain and suffering and challenges and hardships and difficulties. None of this. It's the way a child sees the world. The narcissist.
You could escape all of those things by just taking this proposition.
Yes.
But yet reality is not what they want to come into that proposition, because then you'll recognize that it's all false.
They isolate you from reality. The first thing they do, they cut you off, family and friends and so on. The second thing they do, they create a fantasy which substitutes for reality. They become your reality testing. So when you're trying to gauge reality or the world, you resort to them. They become the litmus test of reality.
Always going back to them to check to see if this is something I should do. Should I wear this? Should I eat this?
Yeah,
They become the measure.
Is this real?
Is this real?
This person.
And this person, yeah.
What do you think I should do?
Yeah.
You know, so you become dependent. Before you know it, you become utterly dependent on the narcissist because you're in a prison cell. It's a padded prison cell, but it's a prison cell. And he's the only one with the key. And he's the only one, or she's the only one, that they're able to grant you access to your idealized image. It is through the gaze of the narcissist that you become alive as a newborn. And it is through the narcissist's gaze that you see yourself as a perfect entity, all ideal, and therefore worthy of a mother's unconditional love.
Never questioning them at all, because they continue to give what I would believe is the best thing for me. They're giving me what I believe is the best, but it's a fantasy of my own.
I think the closest comparison would be addiction.
Oh, wow. Hey, you didn't say that the first time around. Okay, so I could see that. Okay, I could see that.
If I make
no,
free,
yeah.
I mean, forget narcissism.
Yeah,
If I'm the kind of guy who makes you feel good all the time, makes you
Yeah.
feel great about
I
yourself,
got you. Yeah.
that you're the best
Yep.
and the greatest, and
Yeah.
it's amazing, and drop dead gorgeous and super
Yeah.
intact, and what have you.
Yeah.
And I also provide you with unconditional love and support and succor. I'm always there for you. I always cater to your needs. And so why would you let go of me? Forget narcissism.
Forget, yeah. Why would you even go look anywhere else? Is essentially what would happen. I understand what you're saying.
And gradually you would say, why do I need reality? Reality sucks.
Yeah.
I don't want reality. I want this guy.
I love this guy. Yeah, that's right. I can't live without him, because he has created, like you said, this padded cell. That a woman she wouldn't have a clue what she has stepped into. Not a clue.
Yeah. Half of all narcissists are women nowadays. It's a new development.
Yeah, I remember a video that you mentioned that.
So we're
it can-
using gender pronouns, but
yeah, I get you. Yeah. It could go either way, because they create this padded cell. How do you get out of that? Because reality is going to hit at some point.
very few people want to get out of it.
Sam, you're blowing my mind again. They want to stay in it.
Yeah, we see all these self-imputed victims and survivors and whatever. That's a tiny fraction of a percentage. The overwhelming vast majority
Want to stay in it?
want to stay. They don't want to let go. That's
a lot, Sam.
to them.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
For the first time, they're experiencing, for example, self-love. They were incapable of loving themselves, but then there is this idealized image, idealized version of themselves. And for the first time, they are capable of loving it, loving this idealized version.
They then what? Feel a sense of existence now, so therefore they feel seen and heard. Even
It's
the
less about existence and more about, I think, self-love,
got it. Okay.
self-compassion.
Mhm.
So the narcissist says to you, actually, the narcissist message is, you have never seen yourself correctly. Your self-perception is so completely wrong.
Yep. I can see a guy saying that, or a female. Yeah, yeah.
Like you think you don't realize how
Visualize. Yeah.
you are. How drop dead gorgeous you are.
Yeah. Right.
How sexy. How
Yeah.
you know.
How intelligent, how smart, all these, yeah.
Then you begin to
With
buy-
no proof, no, not that the person isn't, but nothing is substantiated. It's just constantly thrown at that person. So like, why? Why would I go out of this relationship? Why would I
buy
leave?
into it. You simply buy into it, and
Yeah.
then the narcissist maintains a monopoly of access. If you want to access this idealized version of you, you can do it only through the narcissist's gaze. Because if you
Yeah.
were to go to your mother or to your neighbor or to your best
Or friend, best friend, or whatever.
yeah, they would tell you what you know. You're
What the
not-
truth is, right?
I mean,
Right.
you're okay, but you're not that sexy. Or
Yeah, let's get down to reality, come down a little bit, because this is really whatever he told you is up here. But the reality is you're here. Now that's going to cause a problem, because then that person, the prey, is going to get upset at mom, dad, or whoever who's trying to tell him, hey, look, this person's blowing smoke.
It's that's exactly how the narcissist isolates you from family and friends and so on.
So he needs to cut that off and say, like, you just trust me. They don't really love you the way I do. Kind
They are
of got a
not really
foolish.
your friend. They're not really your friend.
Your dad really don't love you.
They're envious of you. They're envious.
Yeah.
They want to take you down. They're actually your competitors. They're not, and so gradually you're faced with a choice. Either you choose reality, and then it's mundane, it's humdrum,
hurts. It hurts.
boring, it hurts also,
It hurts.
or you keep consuming this drug. You're on a high, constant high, and he's the sole pusher. There's nobody else around to do this for you.
He's pushing that drug of narcissism. Or you say self-love. If you stick with me, don't you feel better about yourself?
Yeah. And the problem is that in today's civilization, in today's society and so on, the messaging in schools, the messaging in the self-help industry, the messaging online, the messaging is you should feel good about yourself. You should have a very high self-esteem. You are unique. You are special.
It's almost narcissistic driven too.
You're amazing.
Yes.
If you go to, in the education system, teachers are now inculcated, teachers are taught to tell every child, you're amazing, you're special, you're unique, you're this, you're that. So the narcissist message sounds appropriate. It sounds realistic.
Yeah.
Because everyone else has been.
Everybody else is saying it. Every advertisement, every social media platform.
The narcissist message corresponds and
it's loud propaganda.
All other signals you're receiving, to all other messages you're receiving. There's no countervailing information. It sits well with the brainwashing of society at large. No? It's like the consumerism. What is the essence of consumerism? You deserve this.
You should have it.
I have it because it's
somebody's holding you back from having this.
Yes, you deserve it.
You deserve. Yes, you haven't done anything really to deserve it. But no matter what happened in your life, you deserve this.
You deserve. So if you don't
go get it, yes, that's right.
And if you don't have it, you're self-hating.
Yes, you don't see yourself.
You're not your own best friend. And what's your teacher's message? You're unique. You're special. You're amazing. You're fascinating. You're unprecedented. And what's the message of show business or the media? Say. So when the narcissist comes along and tells you that you're amazing, you've heard it all before. Yeah. It doesn't sound crazy. It doesn't sound like crazy making. It sounds like, you're right. I am unique. I'm special. I am drop dead gorgeous.
Yes.
You got it right.
There is no way that was as loud as it is today, what you're saying. When you started this, was it?
No way.
I'm just because I'm sitting there thinking, we're talking how many years ago? You said in 90s. Okay, so
in 1984.
In that time frame, you've been able to sit back and, as it were, you're seeing this become big.
I've been warning against this since the mid 80s.
What would you call it? Would you call it? And I told you earlier. I'm just going to say something I started to say earlier. If anybody's watching this, Sam knows I've got numerous amount of questions off screen here from people from the first time he was on. We're going to try to sneak them in every now and then, and Sam's just going to do what he can before he has to go. But Sam, I got to ask this question. When it comes to narcissism, one of the questions is, in your opinion, is it an epidemic or a pandemic?
No, it's a pandemic. It's everywhere. It's in China. It's in Egypt. It's in Israel. It's in Russia. I've lived in 15 countries. It's everywhere.
Wow.
I've lived in 15 countries on 4 continents.
Male or female, doesn't matter. Young or old.
Now it's a absolutely universal phenomenon. And so narcissism is an organizing principle of modern civilization. It's also an explanatory principle. In other words, if you are trying to make sense of things that are happening, politics and in your own personal life and so on, then narcissism comes handy. You say, for example, this guy is a narcissist. That explains its behavior.
Put that sticker on that person, on that situation.
Yeah, but it's not only a sticker. It has explanatory power.
Okay.
It's to you why that person behaves the way they do. So many people, for example, are trying to make sense of Donald Trump. So they say, well, of course, he's a narcissist. And that's the end of conversation.
It's the end of the conversation.
Everything is explained. So narcissism is an organizing principle as well. But the narcissist's secret weapon is loneliness. The narcissist leverages
of the prey.
Yes, the loneliness of the prey. When I started my work in the 1980s, a typical individual in Western industrialized societies had 10 close good friends. 10. That's 10.
That makes sense.
The number today is 0.9. So today, an average individual in industrialized societies has 0.9 good friends.
That's a lot of isolated people, Sam.
Well, it's an amazing shift within 40 years.
That's a lot of people not connected to somebody that is looking out for their well-being.
And all types of interactions, sex included, are declining precipitously. For example, the younger generations, Generation Z and so on, they're having far less sex than my generation. Far less. Sex is a mode of communication. It's talking with your body, basically. I mean, even in one extent, it's a casual conversation, but it's a conversation. It's a dialogue. And so these people are so disconnected, they're not even having sex. You know, people place much larger emphasis on animals than on other people. I'm just coming back from Vienna.
Yeah.
Vienna has an inordinate number of animal shelters. Like every second building is an animal shelter. Yet they have extremely few homeless shelters.
Wow.
Maybe 2 or 3. They have like hundreds, if not thousands, of animal shelters, and they have like 3 homeless shelters.
The animal is, in its care, is taking more precedent
People have dogs
than humans.
People have dogs and cats. They don't have lovers. They don't have companions. They don't have friends. They have dogs and cats.
Nobody's talking to each other.
We have become technologically self-sufficient, which gave us the opportunity and the excuse to let go of other people.
To isolate, to self-isolate.
So being with other people is a full-time job.
Yes.
It's hard. It requires investments and resources and commitment. You have to traverse the intersubjective space. There are hardships and difficulty. It sucks. Being with other people is, not always a pleasant experience. Actually, in the vast majority of cases, it's a really bad experience. So
I get what you mean.
Here we are, and technology allows us to avoid this.
Totally avoid people.
Totally avoid people, and we embrace this.
We run to it and embrace it. I get what you're saying. Would you say it's an organized propaganda, narcissistic propaganda scheme to get people to live that life? I'm just throwing that out there as a weirdo. No, it just happened that this is taking place.
Conspiracy. It'd be a conspiracy. However, it is true that capitalism, and especially
I could see that.
Techno-capitalism,
Yes.
would like you to be isolated, would like you to not have intimacy.
To be on Facebook, to be on Instagram, to be on everything.
I always say the following: if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you spend less time on Facebook, which is bad for business.
Yeah.
Facebook, this social media, they want you to be completely isolated and to have no one in your life, because other people take away from the profits of Facebook and Instagram,
Yes.
YouTube, and so on. So
the more 2 people are sitting at a park talking and stuff like that, they lose money.
Yeah.
They need you to be talking to people you've never met and give you hundreds of them, so you're addicted. No telling what's going to happen here on NATV Network. It's a Saturday morning off the coast of California. Everything has been warmed up. Putting my headphones on comfortably. All right, we're gonna have a guest today. I get to torture somebody. Not nervous, are you? Don't worry about it. Nobody can hear you right now, so it's okay. I can read your lips though from here. All right, you're gonna be on in just a moment, and you're gonna get a chance to meet everybody. I got a call yesterday saying yes for 2 guests. So we got 2 surprise guests for you. Grabbing my notes. I tell you, talking to Sam Vaknin was a true pleasure. Gonna share more of that. Let's get ready for our guests. Special guests today. 2 guests today. All right. Hang in there. We're gonna get booted up in just a moment. I tell you, what are we gonna do with this guy? That's got that music off. We don't need that music anymore. All right. Let's see here. Let's move some things around. Let's do that. All right. I just want to know one thing. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. We can't hear you. So we're gonna fix that. Let's see. You're not muted. Let's have some fun. I'm going to have you go to your settings. Hold on one second. Make sure it's not on my end. Everybody, you get to watch this in real time. Let's see here. When you go to settings, check your mic. And let's see here. Make sure I don't have you muted. You're good there. You're good there. Or is it just me? And you check your microphone there. And I'm looking over here. We're going to do that. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me talking. Okay, so you can hear me. You're not muted. And I don't have you muted over here. So let's try this. Unplug your headphones. And you can still hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay. And so you can hear me. Your headphones, if you plug them back in,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
But can you hear me in your headphones?
Yes.
You
Yes.
can. Oh man, we're cooking like gasoline right now, man. We're like a
We are
barbecue on
connected.
fire. What'd you say? What'd you say?
We are connected.
Did everybody hear that? Did you hear the lady? Okay, so we're getting together live right now so we can discuss a few things, and then hopefully you get an opportunity to come back again. You just braved it out. You just like within like 24, 48 hours, you said, you know what, Paxton? I'm coming on your show. I'm coming on your show. And I'm just honored. I'm totally honored.
Totally.
Just totally just like, you know.
Totally.
And I appreciate that you gave me something to do, or I just could put a little stuff together to give you an intro and everything. All right, so I've got tons of questions to ask you. I'm not going to do all of that today because I'm going to respect the sanctity of your day. But I have to be honest. I'm just happy that I got another California person on. That was my main objective. Very encouraging posts that you have on Instagram, a number of other things. But, there's somebody somewhere that's accustomed to me having people come on like this and just start talking. And then there are others that are not because they're accustomed to the whole protocol of introducing people and all that stuff that I never do. I don't like doing it, but let's, for the sake of the record, for the record. By the way, For the Record is an upcoming podcast that my daughters have, and you guys will be able to hear that soon on Man with the Mic. But anyhow, that just popped in. I wasn't trying to plug that. That just popped into my head. But for the record, please introduce yourself to our audience and viewers.
Thank you so much. I am totally honored to be here today and spend some time with you and get to know your community. It just seems like a really sweet place to land. But my name is Gaya Coon. I am a psychotherapist. I am in California. I'm in Northern California, Sonoma County. I have a small private practice where I see clients. I have specialized training in trauma. A lot of my background has been in educational settings, nonprofit sectors. I've worked a lot with veterans.
There we
so
go. I'm back
that's
in.
kind of a little bit about me.
Got it. Hold on 1 second here. I got you playing in the background over here. Screen. Okay, so I want you to know, hopefully you got me back. I froze there for a moment.
Oh, okay.
And you did, one of the things I didn't tell you, but you did it perfectly. You just kept talking. So whenever you're on with me, no matter what happens, just keep talking. So that was beautiful. So do me a huge favor, because I missed everything because I was frozen out of the whole thing.
You don't get to hear. You don't get to hear.
I know I did. So I've got a timeout on my part. So you gave out some really good information. I'll be able to enjoy it later by rewinding this, but and watching it back. But what I was going to ask you is, you have a beautiful name. How do you pronounce your name again?
It's Gaya.
And Gaya, how did you get your name?
Oh my. Okay. I'm wondering how much I want to share today.
Don't worry about it. We're not gonna do that much torture to you today, but feel free to share.
So Gaya comes from the Greek mythology, Gaya, the Mother Earth.
Okay.
So I will share a little bit about some of my family. I mean,
Okay.
my parents were into sacred sites, and
Interesting.
gosh, I was born off. I was born in a house off the Haight Street. So if that, my name and
Interesting.
all of that, if that doesn't come
Okay.
together for you,
Okay. All right. All right. That's pretty good. That sounds like a part of a second or third book. I say a third book.
Mm.
You working on a second book? I think you mentioned to me.
So I am
Or
slowly
okay.
working on a second book,
Got
definitely,
it. All right.
to kind of, I guess, trail off where I was before
Yeah.
in the first book.
Now in the first book, and I got a number of things to put up. I'm gonna defer to you to give kind of an overview of your book. The book is entitled "Breaking the Illusions." Correct? Am I saying that correctly? Make
Yeah,
sure.
breaking the illusion.
Hold on one second. We're gonna do this. There we go. Everybody can see that. Everybody get a chance to take a look at that on the screen. Breaking the illusion, I should say. What's your story without giving away the book? And then I have a few more questions, and then we're going to take a look at your Instagram page. What's your story when it comes to this title, Breaking the Illusion?
Okay, good question. Yeah.
Yeah, I get paid to do this, I don't. I'm retired, but go ahead. I don't get paid, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
So the title "Breaking the Illusion," it is inspired, and I wanted to name it that way because it is, for me, breaking through the illusion of narcissism.
Okay.
I'm sharing, my own personal experience with this book. So, I mean, narcissism, from my experience, what I've witnessed with others, I mean, it's like a whole other reality. So for me, it's breaking through that.
What was your reality before? I'm just going to take a guess. You still there? I'll lose you for a second.
Oh.
I think I hit a button. Hold on a second. Hold on. Everything's going. I have no idea. Things are just popping up on its own. Give me a second here. Give me a second. Hit this here. That's not. Stuff is just being weird here. Just give me a second. So, okay, there we go. I had to get the screen back. I don't know, something just took over. So out of curiosity, again, back to the question. What was your life like before you had to break the illusion?
Gosh. Okay. Yeah. I mean, could go in so many different directions with that. So my life was busy.
Okay.
Busy. I mean, for me, there was a lot of taking on too much stuff. Work, relationship, just trying to kind of manage it all.
Okay.
And I think for probably years, was like, I need to slow down. I need to change something. And I think before the illusion got broke, I had a moment of sort of pausing and slowing down.
Okay.
And, I remember saying at that time, like, oh, I want to spend more time in my relationship. But the real thing was I needed to spend more time with myself before I broke that illusion. I mean, there's so many kind of layers to what was going on before that. But before I broke the illusion, I was really unsettled, was experiencing anxiety, just feeling really disconnected with myself.
Did you see yourself change when you were dealing with someone who was, selfish and haughty, narcissistic traits or behavior? Did you see yourself change? Or did you notice the change way after the fact?
I think I did start to notice myself change in certain ways. Just
hmm
again, that sort of disconnected to who I was before, um, and sort of there's like a confusion or a haze, sort of like coming over you.
In making decisions, did you feel a haze? Did you feel yourself having a trouble making decisions, or uh, did you feel yourself just not being able to do the things you wanted to do?
Hmm. I was so busy. I mean, I was like in survival mode a lot of the time.
hmm
Um, I mean, my schedule was pretty like go to here, internship, second job, you
Wow.
know, trying to trying to keep a
hmm
relationship together.
Yeah.
Um, so there wasn't that. I mean, there was decisions, but I don't think I had too much time to sort of like totally be as present to make some, I guess, good decisions, if that makes sense.
What is it that you broke? What is it that needed to be broken for you to be where you are right now, spending time with me? What did what broke?
Mm. Ugh, gosh, my my whole reality.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, there's so much. My view of other people, my view of how I show up in
hmm
relationships. Um, a lot of that has shifted. I mean, it's like a whole other lens that I'm in right now. And I think part of my past is like my own childhood trauma stuff sort of being blended into everything.
When it comes to your life now, you find it pretty easy to, buy headphones and go to Target. That's an inside joke, everybody. So you went and you did everything last night. You're just decision maker on the go, getting things done. But when it came to the illusion,
Mm.
describe the illusion for someone who may be going through that illusion right now. Describe the illusion.
Oh gosh, I know it's such an altered place to be. The illusion of someone you think is supporting you, or the
hmm
illusion of being in a healthy relationship. I mean, these are the kind of the words that's just popping into my mind when I
hmm
think about that. You know, the illusion about, gosh, the depths of darkness of people. I mean,
Wow.
I think I always knew that this was out there, but I really had no idea. Um, like the level of woundedness for some people and how that shows up. I
Hmm.
mean, it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense.
The intensity of someone else's pains maybe being projected on you, or you're living with them. This was something you endured. But what three things can you tell the audience that you can share with us today that a person needs to do to break the illusion?
Oof. Do I just have to do 3? Can I do maybe 4?
Okay, I picked 3. Okay, now, Sister Child, I'll tell you right now, I picked 3 because I know I can't keep you all day,
Okay.
and we have another guest coming within
Oh,
another 30 minutes, and you're more than welcome to stay, because both of you together would probably be dynamite. And you're more than, but I didn't know what you got going on today. But I'm telling you this:
okay.
if you can give more than 3, I guarantee you, whoever's going to watch this back and listen to this is going to appreciate more than 3. But
Yeah.
I want you to be able to give how many you want. But you know, Well, it's understood between both of us. I don't read whoever comes on that has a book. I don't read it ahead of time. I need to learn it just like everybody else. But there's something about breaking the illusion, the process you went through. I want some of that information to share with the audience today. So if it's more than 3, I'm with you. I'm behind you 1,000%, my friend.
Okay. So, I mean, I definitely want to encourage you to speak your truth. I think it's so important to share your story with safe, compassionate, non-judgmental people. I think it's so important to do that and to reduce stigma and shame around these things. So speaking your truth is so important. I want you to know that you have the ability within you to transform your life. I think it's so important for you to think about reconnecting to that person maybe you were before. And that might bring up kind of layers of either sadness or grief, but just kind of attend to those and hold space for those. But reconnecting with that person maybe you were before. Take back your power. And I think that, for each person, that might be a discovery on your own on how to do that. But, it's so important to do that. And seek support. I think healthy support, healthy environments. In these types of relationships, there's so much isolation that goes on. So we do need people, healthy environments. For me, I loved going for morning walks in the park. I kept seeing like the same people walking, and we just gently say good morning to each other. And that's all I needed during that time was like healthy, no pressure, just connecting with other healthy adults. So I guess those are some things that I want to kind of send with you. But oh, go ahead.
No. It's your show.
Yes.
I told you that. I told you don't be trying to be nice to me because we're on the show. Don't be you nice period to me, but come on now, you don't take over. You don't need to be nervous no more. You didn't gave us a list now. What else? You're gonna say something else? Go right ahead. I'm writing down what you said. But go ahead.
Just really highlighting the reconnecting with yourself.
What else? Anything else?
And just finding a person to help guide you in that can be helpful.
You did pretty good. See, you're all nervous and everything. I told you don't be scared. You ain't be scared coming on here telling people that they, people, all of us, let me rephrase that. All of us have things that we can make adjustments on. And sometimes we need a recipe. Sometimes we need some instruction. Sometimes we need reminders for discipline and determination and not giving up and a bunch of other things. And you're in that part of our life that gives us those things. So, I know you mentioned about being nervous and everything, and you rather jump in and do the show than put it off. I was telling you next week or next month, next week, and you're looking at me like, no, I'm brave enough. I'm going to do this now. And now I get to say, for a woman that writes a book about breaking the illusions, if you would have put this off another month or two, I would have went like, man, that book should have a different title. She call it chicken. But that book has the right title because you broke through the very things that you were apprehensive about to be sitting there right now to help someone that you may never, ever meet. And their children and their children's children, all because you're giving them the inspiration to break the illusion of a relationship that is not what it is, what someone is pretending it to be.
Right.
And by breaking the illusion, they get to make the decision as to how they're going to get better, what adjustments need to be made. You made some adjustments. What is an adjustment that you made in your life that you're still holding on to today? I know you listed some things here, but we're talking about you right now. Everything here is about you. So what adjustment have you made that you're still holding on to today since
It's
breaking that illusion?
sort of like healthy adjustments. Is that what you're kind of
Whatever pops into your head.
uh-huh. Ooh, gosh. I mean,
But share
yes.
so that somebody can benefit from it.
Uh-huh. Well, a real hard look at my own boundaries with my relationships with friends, family, has definitely been like something that I have focused a little bit more on, and that is really important to me. Really, really important. And also, I mean, speaking my truth. I mean, some people don't want to hear it. And that can be hard, but it's so important for your own being to be able to do that, even if other people don't like it. That's something that's been really important to me, and to kind of like let go of fear in that sense, you know?
The fear of speaking your truth
Yes.
was heavy on you.
Yeah. Well, sharing that I was in an abusive relationship with others, that doesn't always land well with some people, or people don't receive that very well. But that's important to me, to be able to say it and name it. And I think that might be helpful for people. There was like a shift for me when I could actually name what was happening.
Yeah. Did you know about narcissism per se at that time? I mean, you are a psychotherapist and so forth. Was it easy for you to, as it were, label what was taking place or understand what was taking place, or was it still a dark cloud of trying to understand what was happening?
So, gosh, I mean, I could get into so much detail with this, but I met this person when I like started my training.
Got it.
And I would have to say that like narcissism wasn't necessarily an area that I spent a lot of training in. I think a lot of my work has been with survivors, but as I've been working with survivors, I've been learning a lot. And I was starting in myself to sort of recognize and see those patterns. And then that was like, oh my goodness. So I'm still learning.
But what you know is more than some and better than others. But your personality and your mindset and your willingness to share makes you a valuable part of our community here, in any community. As I told you before, you being on other podcasts, it'd be something for you to be able to do, because there's a lot of individuals, there's a lot of communities that could get a benefit from your book. I'm going to, we're going to share screen here with everybody, and we're going to take a look at, let's see, I got to find the right one I want to do here. Hold on here.
Yeah. Oh, what are you going to share?
Hey, remember now, I'm the people in the park, okay? I got your benefit. I'm here to benefit you. I ain't going to hurt you. I'm like the people in the park that you met. Okay, I got you. I'm supporting you. So you're in a safe zone when you're with me. So let me see how I'm gonna. Nope, we don't want to do that. Let's see. Let's get around here. There we go. Make you bigger than I am, and we're gonna do like that. Everybody, hold on. I'm doing this in real time. So hold on here. We're gonna do this here. Do that. All right. Let's see here. All right. We're gonna just do like that. Do that. Okay, we're good. Move you over here. I'm adjusting this in real time because I can and I feel like it. Had a nice time talking with you last night in this week. Really good. I appreciate you letting me talk your ear off. Okay, I got everything where I need it to be. All right, you can see the screen now comfortably. Yeah, hopefully you can do that.
Yeah, it's kind of small, but I can see it.
Yeah, it's kind of small there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to do this here. Where are you here? We share the screen. Everybody, this is me on Saturday morning. And I don't know why I'm kind of slow today. What's going on over here? Hold on. Everybody's going like, what is he doing? Hold on, everybody. I don't know what's happening here. I can't get nothing to work this morning, and I don't know why. Okay, we're going to start all over again. Everybody's going to have to watch this here. Get back in here. And we're going to share screen. How you like this for your first show? You're going like, what is Paxton doing? Got everything going on here. I'm having fun this morning. Taking it easy. There we go. Go like that. We're going to get back over here to you. There you are. Ta-da. Okay, what's going on here? Is this Madison Square? Is this Times Square?
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Okay, what's up with that? What connections you got? What's up with that?
Okay, way to call me out.
I gotta
right
meet
now.
your people. I gotta meet your people, man.
Me out. Way to call me out.
What is
I am still digesting all of that.
That's like bigger than like a little small building.
I know.
Pretty cool.
It's so wild. I feel
crazy.
Very fortunate. Billboards, INC, they do amazing advocacy work.
What's the name of the company again?
Billboards, INC.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, marketing company. And
Gotcha.
I think they have a reality show as well. But they do a ton of advocacy work, and it's pretty amazing. Having the opportunity to work with them and them showcasing my work. I mean, I'm still kind of like in awe.
I see it. So Billboard INC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we gotta give them more than a shout out. I'll see if I'll put their link in the video description as well.
Mm-hmm.
You have tried to, and I'm going to read here your words in the caption for this description of this posting. It says, "Let's keep spreading love, hope, and peace.
Mm-hmm.
Keep creating and dreaming." When it comes to what motivates you, let's just say from those three, love, hope, and peace. I notice you give the peace sign quite a bit. Am I getting that correct? Is that?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I mean,
You just did it right now.
Let's do it.
Okay, that was pretty good. You just did it right now.
I think we need a little bit more of that in our lives.
Yeah, you totally remind me of my childhood in the 60s. Every time I look at you, it's there. Are those elements, love, hope, and peace, a part of this book that's up on the screen right now, Breaking the Illusion? Love, hope, and peace. Is that a part of your book?
Absolutely.
How
Absolutely. Oh, gosh. I mean, hope for your life changing, things changing. Hope for being able to shift your reality to one that's healthier, to be able to feel more, I want to say, internal love and peace.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think
there are moments that you didn't feel the way you do right now about yourself. Yes?
Yeah. Oh,
So-
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So there's a recipe that was made or put together to get you to where you are. We're not going to discuss all of that today, but I am going to look at something again that you wrote on your Instagram with the 3 pinned posts that you have there at the top. You talk about interpersonal trauma, narcissism, recovery, healing, and returning to your authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
These elements are part of your book. I safe to assume part of your book. Yeah?
Yes.
And who you are as a psychotherapist and so forth.
Oh, yeah.
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 Where do people struggle with these types of areas? Are they stuck just focusing on narcissism? Do they have trouble with recovery, healing? Do they even understand interpersonal trauma?
Right. I don't. I mean, yeah, we could probably talk for hours about all these things. I mean, I don't think a lot of people maybe understand interpersonal trauma. Um,
What
you
is
know,
it?
so it is it's relational. It's with people.
Mhm.
It's neglect, with your partner. Maybe it's being in an abusive relationship. I mean, those are interpersonal traumas.
Okay.
When we think of, I think a lot of people, when they think of trauma, they think of really like traumatic events, a car crash or maybe war. But trauma is like so much more, and how that impacts people. It's really important to kind of look at that. I mean, being in a relationship with someone who has narcissism, I mean, talk about disconnecting or doing what you need to do to survive, but your nervous system,
Yeah.
your fight or flight. I mean, every relationship looks different. I want to
Mhm.
say different spectrum, but there's a lot of stress that's going on um, in your body. But I mean, I could just go on and on about that.
Well, okay. Let's make this the last time you keep telling
Okay.
me you're going to go on. Just go on.
No.
Don't keep teasing. You could go on. Just go on, and I'll let you know when I can cut you off. But you can go on. It's okay. You have a green light.
Mhm.
You have a green chair and an open door anytime you want to come back. But you also have a green light today to just go on. But you said it's a lot of stress on the body. If that's the
Yeah.
case,
Yeah.
since you mentioned that, a lot of
Mhm.
stress on the body, then I'm going to scroll down to a posting that involves, I guess you could say, it involves you um, releasing stress.
Oh.
What is this? Getting jiggy with it. Is that you?
Oh
Okay,
my
because one of
goodness.
my favorite
Okay.
things is dance therapy. I've never had it. I've never had therapy either. But I've
Oh.
never. But I'm just saying, it says healing vibes, dance therapy, and of course you get a shout out for the music, and it says drop some love if you love dance trauma healing. Find
Mm.
ways to express yourself, connect with
Mhm.
yourself, and invite play back into your life.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
there's more there for me to be able to share with the audience if they're not over on Instagram, or they can go take a look at it. We'll talk about it in a moment. But just from what I read there, I think you like dancing.
You are right.
What? This is like 9 hours for you
I
to just say yes. It's like, yep. Just an amen would do just fine. Uh, just okay. Go ahead. Share more of what others can do to follow in your dance steps in their own homes or whenever they feel the urge to do so.
yeah, movement, dance. Whatever excites you in terms of movement, I think is so good for
Okay.
helping to release some trauma, release stress,
Okay.
balance your body, have some
Okay.
fun, have some joy. I mean, turn on some music. I mean, for me, that's huge in helping me,
Really?
with my mood or
Uh-huh.
energy. Um, I love it. It feels so good.
Well, then you fit right at home here because even though we're a mental health channel, we are driven by music. So I saw that, and it's just like a perfect fit for being here with us today. Benefits of dance. You list one, two, three, four, five different things as to the benefits of dancing. Now, um, here we go. I'm going to say the five, but we're going to do them one at a time, and then you can kind of expand and expound on them for a little bit for people who think, I have no rhythm, I don't want to do that, I look silly, I don't want to. Let's just go through them so we can kind of encourage others to put some more movement in their life with or without music. But one of the things, the benefits of dance you wrote is strengthens mind body connection. You want to talk about that a
Mhm.
little bit before we go to number two?
Yeah, I mean, it just you you're getting more connected in your body. There's not a separation. A lot of people are in their heads and not in their body. But there's this like, if you can have a safe place to allow yourself to experiment, getting out of thoughts and thinking and just feeling. I mean, if that makes sense, but
I'm smiling at everybody because she's dancing as she describes dancing. That's why I'm laughing. I was trying to hold it back, but I can't. She is literally moving as she's describing the dancing, and I think that's just so cool. Number 2, promotes relaxation and stress reduction. Share more about what you wrote.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're stretching, you're moving your body, you're releasing good chemicals. It's all good for you. I mean, really good for you.
Got it. Number 3, promotes relaxation, and obviously I can't read because that's number 2. Number 3, process feelings through movement. Process feelings through movement. So is there a possibility then while somebody's doing the movement that they end up crying or releasing other things as they're doing it?
I would say that can happen for people, definitely. Yeah.
Number 4, effective self-regulation tool. Interesting.
Yes. Gosh, you need a little energy, turn on a particular music. That might give you some. Or if you're feeling overwhelmed, turn on some relaxation music. Or, I mean, everyone's kind of different. You need to play around with what maybe sounds are good for you. But like classical music, it really helps a lot of people study. I mean, it's like just helping kind of regulate things.
Yeah, because that can be very stressful, and the music can help them be able to process their stress so they can do the best they can while they're studying. That's a very good point. What's your go-to music?
Ooh.
I'm already looking at some of the music that you got up here, so I got a pretty good idea. But no, hey, for the audience, what's some of your go-to music, Miss Get Jiggy with It?
I know
get down on it. But go ahead.
You got me today.
All right. Go ahead. Anything you want to share?
I mean, I love tons, but of course, I love like R&B and reggae. I mean,
my goodness.
Maybe that's something about my age.
Yeah,
but
yo, go blame it on the age, whatever. It's just you can't. It's just your taste. It's just your taste because it's kind of obvious that's what you like because of the way you're dancing here. So everybody can see, the whole world can see now, the globe can see how you dance. Because hey, like most of YouTube channels, our channel is dubbed in 21 languages, so there's people all around the world that will watch this and they will hear it in their own language and they will start dancing just like what you're doing right now. The last one is it releases endorphins, reducing anxiety and depression. Dancing has a huge benefit. You're showcasing that with this particular post. I'm going to get to your very first post that you made on Instagram.
Okay.
And this is something you wrote. You're talking about the book, that it brings awareness to interpersonal trauma. That is the main focus then of the book, the interpersonal trauma, and how we can end up getting trauma in our relationships from other people, not necessarily just a narcissist.
So I mean, I'm sharing a piece of my journey so far, about my own experiences with adversity and in particular interpersonal trauma. Right. I mean, some of my childhood trauma pops up on there a little bit, but I'm sharing that journey, and it is interpersonal trauma, the relationship trauma, but just wanting to inspire people to heal and to have hope and to know that things can change.
Where did you get your hope from that things would get better?
I mean, having been in healthier relationships, having been in a healthier place in myself, feeling relief at being out of that environment was important for me to feel that shift. I mean, that gave me hope for sure.
Did you find individuals close to you that came to support you, or were you in a situation where mainly strangers proved to be a stronger source of support?
Both. I mean, I have kind of like a small circle who've been really supportive, and then I've met some amazing kind of healers since then who have been really supportive and just been able to hold a really just phenomenal safe space for me in my healing, which, you know, I'll probably be talking a little bit more about that in my second book.
Yeah. If anybody wants to reach out to you, how can they get a hold of you? Of course, your book is on Amazon, I think. Correct me if I'm saying that wrong.
Yes, books on Amazon. Gosh, this is available in different countries, you know, Australia, Germany, you know, it's all over the place. But you can,
Wow.
if you want to support your local bookstore, it should be there as well. So depending, I know people have their preferences on where they like to go.
Okay. You have a lot of encouraging posts, uplifting, mindset shifting type of posting. This is just my personal opinion, that you have put on Instagram. At some point, I'm quite sure, I think you highlighted to me, you're looking to be on YouTube, of course, but I want to point to this one here. It says, be kind to your mind. You did this on May 29th, 2024. Be kind to your mind. Let go of perfection. Were you living your life with perfection?
I think for a big part of my life, I was living in kind of striving for that.
And then you put practice compassion. Did you get away from practicing compassion, especially for yourself?
A little bit. A little bit.
What if somebody's struggling with that right now? Practicing compassion toward themselves. They're really hard on themselves. Words of advice from a psychotherapist to them would be what? What advice or encouraging thought could you pass on?
I know this is a hard one for a lot of people. I mean, I notice this.
Yeah.
I mean, we all.
Very common today, really.
Yes.
A lot of people.
Super.
Their own worst enemy seems like.
Yeah. Yeah. But just, I mean, noticing when it's coming up and see if you can start to sort of pause and like, oh, there it is. And maybe it's like telling yourself to stop, or maybe it's like, that doesn't serve me. Or I'm going to let that go. Or think about, you know, how to attend to that maybe in a more compassionate way.
Yeah.
Just knowing that.
That's hard for a lot of people, you know, right?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Especially if they got bombarded from the outside, because that's how it got in there in the first place. And then now it creeps almost. That person's living inside of us, and we can keep bringing it up.
Right. That projections from someone else and sort of absorbing that. Yeah. Let me release that. That doesn't belong to me. You know,
I like that one. That doesn't belong to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good one.
Just keep repeating that, you know.
You also have here, challenge rigid thinking. That's an interesting way to say that. I like that. Challenge rigid thinking. What do you mean by that? If some guy hearing that, some ladies hearing that, what does that mean if some teenagers stumbles upon this show? Challenge rigid thinking. How do you even, what is that, and how do you even do that?
Right. So for me, rigid thinking is like extreme thinking. Maybe
Okay.
like all or nothing type of thinking.
Okay. Got it.
Like black or white.
Uh-huh.
I think like with the work that I do with a lot of clients, it's like trying to find balance in their lives in many ways. And that's also maybe balance in how we think, because life is there's such a, I mean, it's so complicated. There needs to be like a spectrum, I want to say, with this, your thinking. It's not just black and white. There's so much in the middle. It's just to challenge that.
If we look at the next one, it says practice presence. Your words of encouragement to somebody to be able to do that.
Yes. Okay. That's such a hard one. Our society, I mean, there's so many distractions.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, yes, but practicing being present in the moment, with what you're doing, with others, being more connected. I mean, maybe it's not simple, but like going for a walk and just paying attention to what's around you. If there's animals, or paying attention to the trees, what you smell. I mean, that's really being present. I mean, you can practice it like washing the dishes.
Got it. Yeah.
What you're doing
Right.
in that moment. You're not off disassociating.
4 or 5 steps ahead, trying to think of whatever ahead, just being there with whatever you're doing or whomever you're with.
Yes. More connected.
Yeah. It's really hard for people to do.
I know.
Us humans can get caught up in trying to problem solve for a day that hasn't even happened yet, which is different than planning for it or being prepared. Literally try to problem solve so there is no problem, and that can really cause us to be distracted. You have a number of other things there, but of course I'm always going to highlight that you say move your body, walk in nature, swim, go to the gym, number of other things like that. These are beautiful recipes. These are beautiful ingredients in an entire recipe that you have listed on your Instagram. Looking forward to you doing more on YouTube for the YouTube community. Love yourself, feel the love within, feel the wisdom within. Some really encouraging words. Okay, now about the book. I've been saving to ask you this. Okay. And I have a couple of other things to ask you that you have no idea that I'm going to ask you. Hi, Julia. I see you there. So she's waving at me. Julia is in the green room. And because of both of you ladies, I'm here this Saturday. I just want you to know that.
Thank you.
I was this close, wherever the camera is, this close to moving this stream to another week because I was going to just goof off and, I don't know, clean windows around my house or something. I don't know, just do nothing, right? And I am so happy that we're doing this today because I am going to ask you about the book in a very strange way. Yeah, I kind of warned you.
No.
Which is the reason why you were scared to come on here. You're like, I don't know if I'll trust this guy. All right, so here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, put this back up here so people can see it. The book is Breaking the Illusion. And because I got old eyes, I'm going to lean this way over here. It says a story of surviving trauma and, I had to flick my hair because it's so heavy, trauma and healing. That's what it says. That's what it says. That means part of your life is in that book.
Yeah.
There are parts of your life that are not in that book. Correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot.
Yes. Correct. A lot. Okay, a lot.
Yeah.
From the parts of your life that you share with people you don't even know, the world in that book, and part of your life that you haven't shared with anyone, definitely not me, which is a great decision. Don't share it with me. No, I'm just kidding. You haven't shared it. There are 2 parts there that make a complete life. But you're sitting here with me right now. We just started talking this week. what was it, Tuesday or whatever day it was, Monday or whatever.
I know. It's been wild. You're taking me on a ride, man.
And from just meeting me to right now, with my keyboard, you're sitting here right now in front of hundreds of thousands of people. People will see this for forever. You have a part that you haven't discussed and a part you've shared with the world. Where do you see yourself with both of those parts 5 years from now? 5 years from now, you maybe, hopefully, will still be knowing each other. But those two parts will still be a part of history. 5 years from now, where do you see yourself?
Ooh, the vision, huh? Yeah, I mean, I see myself continuing to work within the same field in mental health, trauma advocacy. I want to say, I mean, human rights advocacy for sure. Absolutely continuing to kind of continue on this journey and connecting others, helping others transform their lives, and gosh, I want to say how to survive here. There's a lot going on,
The part of your life that you haven't shared with others, are you motivated by that to continue to help people?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You meet a lot of people that are in pain.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of people that have a great deal of indecision.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Which way to go? What do they do with their life? Why is this happening to me? Do you remember walking in those shoes as well?
Oh, yeah.
Your words of advice to people that are going through that, and yet they're not working with you as their psychotherapist, or maybe they have a different therapist. Words of advice. You've been in their shoes. Before you go, what words of advice do you give?
Yeah. Find someone that you connect with who's compassionate and non-judgmental to kind of hold space with you with whatever you may be going through. I mean, I think it's so important to find someone, especially like the right match, and to not isolate, and just to practice really, again, being kind to yourself and where you're at, and practicing patience with yourself. And I know that this can be so hard to do, but I think it's so important to really start developing that really loving, kind, healthy relationship with yourself. I mean, a lot of us maybe did not experience that, with our caregivers, and I mean, these days it's hard to make friends, close friends, and maintain that. So, I mean, really developing that relationship with yourself is just so important. And again, it takes time. It takes time and support. I mean, this is such a great place for people to come and show up and be exposed to, all the different people that you have on here. So it's really beautiful. So I really appreciate you, sharing.
Don't make me cry. I told
sharing
you,
your work.
I'm just that. Hey, it's that time of the week. You mess with me, I'll be crying like a baby. This is even my daughters know. Hey, certain movies I got to stay away from. I start crying like a baby. You almost got me. Seriously, but I cut you off. Notice I cut you off. I told you I'd do that. If it got too close to home, I cut you off. But my box of tissue is right over here. Though. I'm always ready. I used to do these shows. When I first came on. I'm a dad. I figured I'd go on. I'm a guy. I know I can cry at the drop of a hat. I got it. Man, like the second show I was done. I had a crying rag. I had multiple crying rags. They were all like off camera. And then I got my daughter's got me tissue boxes. I even got a spare one sitting over. Look, I got another one sitting over there just in case I got to run over there and get it. So what I've come to understand about having individuals on who are professionals, like Julia, like yourself, and others. Or even I played part of an interview with Sam Vaknin before you came on, and he's just so animate about this is just so wrong, but it's just, but at the same time he's a narcissist. It's just mind-boggling to me. But hearing you talk about something just a few days ago, you weren't even ready to. This was not what you expected talking to me just a few days ago, correct?
Correct.
And I told you, if you come on and started talking, there's going to be a moment that I wouldn't be able to get a word in, and it just happened. You kept talking and then talking, and I'm trying to keep my smile back because it happens every time somebody comes on. Now, Julia, who's coming on next, is a whole other story. I can't even get a word in. She'll just she totally gets it. She's like, this is my show. This is my channel. Just shut up, back. And the audience loves it. But you have, in the short time, it was Monday. I don't even know what day it was. It was either Monday or Tuesday we met for the first time. And today I'm watching you like Shrek, onion, pulling the onion, peeling the onion. I'm watching this whole other person come out right now. Hence the reason of the 5-year question. 5 years from now. Because there is something underlying, an underlying current in you as a human being that wants to make the planet better. Don't stop that. Don't change that. And you're always welcome to come back here to NATV, because you're the third person to ever talk to me within the same week in a matter of days and come on live. And be riding around at night trying to find headphones and the whole thing. It's just unbelievable. You did that, and you were so apprehensive with good cause, because you're telling your story and you're an author. And so you shared it, and you did really well. Well done, without a doubt. Highly commendable. And it shows a tone that you can set for those who have been wronged. They've been disrespected. They've been emotionally abused. And you've shown that you can do something even if it's outside your comfort zone. And you did really well. Excellent. And you even buying a microphone and the whole thing. I'm so proud of you. You just sitting there. I'm so proud of you. Just so, very, very well done. Within a week, no, really. And I appreciate you doing this. And I told you why Saturdays are so important to me. And I'm going to say it to everybody right now. It's 5 years. We're in the month of August. It's been 5 years we've been doing this, of talking about narcissism and a number of other things, in over 4,000 episodes in 5 years. And I'm telling you, this is amazing to me. There are more stories and hearts who care than there are people who don't. And I appreciate you doing this. But you showed so much courage to do this. And in a matter of moments, you're going to say goodbye, and I'm going to get Julia in here, and she fascinates me too, because Julia just comes, she's not a bull in a china shop, but she's pretty close to it, because she's very passionate about helping other people. So I'm really blessed to have both of you today. Why is Saturday important? First time telling my audience this in 5 years. Over 5 years, people write me, mainly women, and tell me how hard it is for them on Saturday morning to get out of bed after they've done child custody and handed their children off to go with their ex-narcissistic dad. And they feel lonely. They feel upset. They feel angry. They feel mad. A lot of things. And way back when, they asked me, can you put a show on Saturday? And they knew I didn't do stuff on Saturday and Sunday because I'm with my daughters, spend time with my family. And this show this morning, I wrote to a few people who look for it, and I know they're here. and this means a lot to them, that you took out of your time to do this, and your drive to Target to get to, you bought one thing and then went back and got another. It was not in vain. I just want to tell you that in front of the entire world. It was not in vain. because 2 of my listeners who've been with me for 5 years, they're getting what they want. To have hope, to stay encouraged, so when the kids come back, they're not downcast, and that they can welcome their kids back because they got some motivation while they were gone to stay the course. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, thank you for having me. I mean, that was beautiful. I
I
mean,
have to breathe.
that was beautiful. I mean, thank you. Thank you for letting me be a part of this and it being introduced to your community. And it's, I look forward to joining you again. It's been a good
It
week.
means a lot to me.
And thank you for challenging me.
Don't say that.
Oh, yeah, I might.
That wasn't a challenge.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I have to tell you right now. I told you earlier, I said, Julia's coming on. I said, I would love to put both of you together. I'm not going to do it today because I gotta talk with Julia and we're going to talk about some things, but I look forward to doing more with you. And thank you.
Okay.
Thank
I'll see you soon. Bye.
See you. Bye-bye. What's going on, my friend? I may have to, she's laughing at me. I saw you laughing all the time. I may have to find my,
I heard
forget
you.
tissue. I may have to get my crying rag. I don't even know if it's in here. I washed it. Now I don't. I did my laundry. And
I'm not a bull in a china shop. I just
you-
have really strong German conditioning, which is pretty much the same
I
thing.
didn't even bring that. I was going to say it. I held back from saying that. 'Cause-
Well done. Well done.
my
You're
father,
little by now. I
my
saw.
father would joke and say, we don't look German, but our name Paxton is German. It means town of peace. He says, so sometimes you need to act German. And I would go like, what are you talking about, old man? I have no idea what you're talking
How
about.
how does that even work?
What is he said, he stand strong. And he used to say, stand strong and, hold your ground. Just kind of a thing, don't just be a pushover. We had so many cultures coming through our house. It wasn't even funny. My parents had so many friends from all over.
That's beautiful.
I wasn't from like one neighborhood. I'm not even music wise. I'm not even one. My children now are not. We just have so many friends from all over the place.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
But listen, you've been changing the planet too, whether it be you're in Spain now or, you've done work in your German language, correct?
I do German, English, Spanish basically these days.
Yeah. You finally tell me you have the ability to do retreats and stuff. And after all this time of knowing you never told me that. And I'm just, I'm so hurt. I hold on one second. Before I go any further, I'm sorry, everybody, but
before you start crying again.
I know. I'm trying, but everything's running right now. And she got me. I did not expect that this morning. That just totally happened. But it just all those things happened at the same time, and two beautiful people who needed some encouragement. Wasn't planning on it today, doing everything everybody saw this morning, but we were able to throw it together, and I'm just happy that they're happy because they wrote me and told me they were happy. They didn't know you were coming. They didn't know you were coming on. So I know that they're staying because now they just told me they're staying to watch that.
Let me tell you something. That you are available for those people to give them some hope is big.
Thank you.
And I
don't start. Don't go.
Yes, I will start because that needs to be said. And I've been there, so I know everyone who showed up for me when I really needed it.
Yeah.
It's like we don't understand not even close how much it means, because we're so used to people letting us down.
Yeah.
When we live in relationships like that, and then there's someone I might have not even met personally ever in my life, and that person shows up for me, it's really, I mean, it's really big, and for that person, for these people, it makes all the difference.
It does.
All the difference. You might just not only save the day, but much more than that.
Yeah. Because they're by themselves. And one of you and I, when we're off camera, one of these days I'll share some things with you. And you address a lot of the things they go through without me ever telling you what they actually write. But certain ones don't mind me sharing certain things that they write. And when you see the things that they write, I mean, you totally will be able to understand and relate. You deal with this stuff.
We just put the shows on, but I find it, how do they, the way they speak, they hold it together for their children. It's just, I find it all fascinating.
Yeah.
I really do. Breathtaking many times.
Yeah.
And gut punch many times. But it's like, I gotta go live. I gotta keep putting people on that want to help other people, because they can't find it. A lot of them can't, as they say, they can't find it anywhere else. The consistency of just getting so that they can put their head in the right space to just keep going.
Yeah. And it really is a matter of getting through the day. Okay, I managed breakfast. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Great. Ticked off. Woo. So now it's all the way to lunch. Yeah. That's what life can look like, you know? And listening to a podcast, listening to a show, listening to someone I feel really gets it. Yeah. It's like, whoa. It can save the next 4 hours. And there's times in our lives, not only for people who are in narcissistic relationships, but for people who go through severe illness, through loss, through grief, whatever, that we need to take the day 1 hour at a time. Because it's so intense.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I'm totally taken aback by how strong we are if we need to be. Especially when we have children.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
When I see parents or caretakers, literally, they start crying when the kid is in bed, and it's big, it's big, and it's so great that I feel so privileged that I can just throw my 5 pence in and just give some back, and just go like, hey, I get it. Yeah. If that's all I can do for you today, to tell you I really get it. Yeah. And, that's it. Then the journey has been worth it.
I just talked to somebody this week, known him for a while. He produces and puts on shows, and the same thing, he hasn't had his life touched the same way as many who have gone through abuse the same way. He's had other issues, and he was telling me that he found that it's just nice to listen to people who have gone through what you've gone through, what others have gone through, because so many are just told to get over it. So many have been told to just move on, and they try to, but so many things are reoccurring.
Yeah.
They try to have a life past the narcissist, or life after the narcissist, life beyond the we just keep going, whatever. But they have a hard time with the beyond part and the after part. They know they want a life, and they know they're leaving the narcissist, but that little gap in between of how to, they find out, but what they often miss is how to maintain it.
Yeah.
Or as my parents would say, my father would say, it's one thing to get a woman and marry her, but how do you keep her? if you have no idea, it's one thing to have a pet, but do you there's maintenance, right? There's things you need to do to keep something. If it wants to run away, if it always jump in the fence, what you gonna do? It's just a street dog. It's what you gonna do. Eventually, it's not coming back. But when you have something precious, you want to take care of it. And so many people were special and beautiful people who were not well taken care of. And so many
that's a whole different.
Yes, so many of them. Go ahead. You're going to say.
No, I mean, that's a whole different pain. That's a whole. I mean, if I go there,
you don't have to. I know too.
But that, I mean, and then we think of children.
That's what I was about to allude to. The children part of it. Yeah. The defenseless children that are become prey, even as it were.
Yeah.
to narcissistic behavior traits, mindset, actual diagnosis, whichever way across the board. All of them are very important to
We
look
don't
at.
even, right. I mean, we don't even need to label it, any sort of manipulative
Yes.
behavior, any sort
Yeah.
of I use the children to get my way. May it be
Any
narcissistic.
deceitful desires and plans to use children that way is just it's of course it's disgusting.
I think we still do not understand. In the expert world, in the research world, I think we start to understand, but in public, like consciousness of the public, it has still not reached the consciousness of the public, how deeply it hurts children, and it has lifelong consequences. And I see that in my practice, like every day. Every day. This is not some weird stuff that happens on an island in Spain, like random. No,
Right.
it's crazy. You open your eyes, you see it once. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It might not be full-blown narcissism everywhere. I'm not claiming that. But toxic traits.
But there's some serious, heavy toxic behavior.
Heavy toxic behavior that we have become used to.
Or even applaud. Some even applaud it. Showcase it.
And in schools, sometimes I hear stories from schools. I go like, which century are we even in? Like, what's going on?
It's almost like a breeding ground there for that type of behavior, and it's disguised as achievements that person's achieving.
Yeah, exactly. And
they're rewarded for that behavior.
And children
as a
go-getter,
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's amazing. Because the toxic behavior, the toxic mindset, the toxic breeding of bad behavior undermines the values and principles and character attributes of an individual that's exposed to it. They have to immediately make a stand and, as it were, get away from it. But a lot of children aren't able to do that when they're at school. It's a mandated thing. They have to be there and they have to go through that.
And
go ahead, please.
We have to understand, and we know from attachment theory, and of course that applies to the primary caretaker, but we can take it to a situation like school. The attachment is always first. I have to make sure I'm safe in that relationship. So how can we expect from a child to take a stand, for example, against an authority like a teacher? I mean, this is like lollipop land, this is not happening on planet Earth. And if the kid did take a stand, it would be punished anyway.
I was just going to say there's repercussions for doing that.
And my child is 9.5. And
Julia, that girl's not 9. That girl looks like she's 13, 14. She's tall as I don't know what. I know you be sitting down a lot of times when she comes on when we be talking, but
she's my height.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not small. She's just that tall.
Way to go. You sound like my mom. My mom was 5 foot tall.
No. I don't know foot. So I don't know foot.
But yeah, she's 9. Huh? Go ahead. You were saying, tell them the story. Go ahead. You were saying.
And I'm really, first of all, in that school, and also I really try to emphasize that she can take a stand, that she doesn't need to say yes, that she can have her own opinion. I really try to.
Right. Yeah.
And still I see, but there's this teacher that is a little more strict. There's this friend I really want to be friend with. It gets really tricky to take a stand. So I might make compromises. And I go like, so okay. And how did that feel? Well, I didn't like that. I said, that's interesting, huh? And that's a child. She goes to a school where that is encouraged. she has a mom who encourages that. And then there's most of all children who are more expected to obey and just not be so difficult.
Yeah. Just go along, in other words.
And go along.
Yeah.
Because of, I'm not blaming parents. It's many different life circumstances. You know, we do the best we can. But I'm saying that those people, those kids, they don't learn how to take a stand. They don't feel safe. And as long as we don't feel safe, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. They're just gonna go along.
Because it's the safest. I mean, I see that there's
It's
a father.
least resistance.
We always, you know, in court, we don't understand why do the children copy and stay loyal to the abusive parent. We go, that doesn't even make sense. That's the abusive parent, the parent that hurts them, that manipulates them, that maybe beats them, screams at them, and the kids stay loyal to the abusive parents. And that's, judges get so confused because they got it. But if that's the mom she presents to be, and I'm just taking that example,
Right.
why do the kids want to stay with the abusive father? Something must be wrong. But we know and we understand that the kids copy the most threatening parent to stay safe.
Yeah.
And they lie in court, they lie in school. It gives me goosebumps. And they tell lies about the other parent, about what happened in the other house, because they know if I told the truth, that parent would get upset, might hurt me. So it's, you know, it's totally different than it appears.
So I had I'm going to piggyback what you're talking about right now, but it's not me. It's somebody I had on the show a number of years ago, a therapist, and he was saying, he highlighted the point that a lot of times we'll just say the toxic person is playing on the child's ability to forgive. And they know they're doing, they know they're manipulating the child because the child they're looking for room to forgive and not hold a grudge. So they can do whatever and then come back and say, hey, please forgive me. I didn't mean it. And they keep that going, but yet escalating the bad behavior or toxic behavior the parent does. And when he told me that, I was going like, that is, outside of that being just totally sick and stupid and just like, that's just wrong to play on a kid's forgiveness. That's their forgiveness is their innocence. It's part of their innocence, you know?
And their dependence.
Yes. And so I could see where that really can cause confusion in a child. Man, we need to do a show on something like that, Julia. We need to do a show on that. Oh my goodness, it's just.
Let's take that one step further, Paxton, because you're right. We never spoke about that way. Now that child grows up.
Yeah.
Which kind of relationship will that child choose later?
Yeah, an abusive one, no? Yeah.
I mean, most of all cases choose a more or
unless
less
he becomes the abuser,
one.
unless they become,
or they become the abuser.
Yeah,
depending
to
on
be
where
in control.
they were in the family. Exactly. To finally feel in control,
Right.
So powerless all childhood long. I can see that in kids already.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right? I've seen it too. Yeah, I've seen it too.
And
they don't want to be they don't want to be the doormat anymore. They want to be the one to walk on the doormat.
And they had the example of an abusive parent. Yes. So if it's, for example, a boy and it's an abusive father, or it's a girl and it's an abusive mother, that's my idea of what woman looks like. That's my idea of womanhood. I don't have another example in many cases, because in many cases there was no healthy grandma, a super healthy aunt. That's usually not the case in toxic family systems.
No positive nurturing was taking place. So
it's very, very, very
This is a free-for-all at that point.
So we were speaking about earlier, what's the beyond part? And we need to understand. So I love that we come full circle here. We need to understand the damage, if we can call it that way, did not only happen in relationship with that narcissistic toxic person. The conditioning, the real damage to our being, to our
character,
soul, to our
who we are, right?
Who we are on our deepest level, happened the first few years after birth.
Yeah, within the first 3 to 5 years, 6, 7 years.
So our character
damage is done.
Our character is only the compensation strategy. We develop the character depending on what we have experienced, but who we believe we are, what we believe we deserve, and how we relate. Did I share with you? They found out that our ability to relate starts to develop in the last trimester of pregnancy.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
It's still
That's crazy.
It's so crazy. You know, that's way beyond thought.
Where is it? I got it right. We were talking and you said that. While you were talking, I was writing it down. Yes, that's just like crazy.
That's crazy. So we think we are in charge of what's going on.
Wait, say it one more time, just in case anybody heard this back and I was talking when you said, just say it again for one more time. Say it again, please.
So our ability to relate starts to develop in the third trimester, in the last trimester of pregnancy. And what's the example we have during that time? That's mom relating with the world.
Yeah.
And how many women how many moms of ours were in a really great, equal relationship, feeling really loved.
Had a chef and lived in a 9-story mansion, all the kind of, everything was easy.
Just that sense of safety, just that sense of I'm welcome, just that sense of I'm loved, like really basic. So
I have value.
I have value.
Yeah, right.
I'm mom's in my team. I belong. So when I hear just think positive, I could just start screaming, basically.
It's like, but because the entire environment that woman was in carrying that child, most of us don't really know the environment. We can have an idea, but we'd have to do some research to find out the environment. But that doesn't even give the full picture, because if mom is not around anymore, she doesn't want to talk about it and all the above, you really have no idea how she was reacting to the world. We could get an idea of how the world was reacting toward her, what was going on at that date and that time, but we really have no idea how that emotionally impacted her to the point that it had some type of an effect on us while we were in the womb. The global environment has a major impact.
And the next thing,
all human society.
We should do an extra show on
okay, so right now it's just turned into a show prep that we normally sit down and we talking about what we're going to do for the upcoming year and for the next 6 months. Which we do have some things, everybody. You'll get to see them, but we're working on some things. You'll see it. We've been talking.
Yeah, we're working on it live.
But go ahead. You were saying. Go ahead.
The importance of that during pregnancy.
Yeah.
That's the next thing I could climb up trees.
We need to go down that road. We need to go down that road. Yeah.
Fathers don't understand. Mothers don't understand, and it's so important.
It can explain a number of things. It could really explain a number of things that people are dealing with, and it's just a carryover from what mom was having to live through while she was carrying that boy or that girl.
In Europe, my grandparents' generation, all the men were in war, in a Second World War.
Wow.
So there were no fathers.
That's a lot. There's a lot in that.
That's a whole generation.
That's a whole show right there. That's a lot in there.
Yeah. So, there's so much in there that we can unpack. And where I'm trying to go is that when we speak about healing after narcissistic abuse, which is kind of my wheelhouse, when we speak about life after the narcissist, we don't have to unpack so much of that relationship. We don't have to focus so much on that relationship, because
we think so much alike. Go ahead. Go ahead.
if we continue to focus on that toxic person and on those crazy years, and I'm not denying any of that, like totally not.
The crime happened.
The crime happened.
You're looking at some other aspects, but go ahead.
So I'm really always trying to encourage people to step out of what I call the narcissistic hypnosis.
Okay.
And go, it happened. And I'll sign anything you tell me, because I'm happy to be a witness, and I'm in your team.
Yes.
And
you've experienced it too. So it's not like you're an quote unquote an outsider. And
I know
some people stand on a soapbox and go like, but you just don't understand unless you've gone through it. They go over and over, but there's more to it, is what you're saying, that needs to be unpacked beyond that person.
And with the clients that are open and willing and feel safe enough and resourced enough to go beyond that relationship and to really look into their
family dynamics and the history,
into their family dynamics, into attachment, and that's a whole different grief, and that's a whole different box to unpack. And
it is grief. And it is
grief.
No matter who you are, it's grief. There's moments that you'll find sadness that you didn't know, or that you knew, but you just kind of swept under the rug. And it has some type of attachment and connection to that relationship with that narcissist, or what somebody's enduring at work, or whatever it may be.
And it includes sadness, but it also includes anger.
Yep.
And we need to get to these points, because we need those for a healthy nervous system. And we need, when we are in a toxic relationship, we better learn how to fight and to set some solid boundaries.
Right. That'll be a pushover, right? All the above. Yeah.
And boundaries don't happen here in the neocortex. Boundaries is like an animal thing, It's like a wild cat showing their teeth. That's boundaries.
Yeah, I always think of setting up boundaries is like I'm saying this because I'm a father. Is like a father. It's my daughters think I'm crazy a lot of times. You go like, how did you see that? It's just your brain never turns off that something could happen.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not trying to look for trouble. You're trying to be prepared or prevent a problem without causing a problem.
Yeah.
And a boundary really does that for you if you're just aware. So as I often say, a productive father is always aware of what's going on, but he's not aware of everything. He's vulnerable enough to ask for help, an explanation, show and tell me something, because I'm insecure about this. So can you help me with this? Or, hey, you know what? I have no idea, which is, I need to have a shirt that says this. It's a joke here in my house. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'll take some time right now. Can you explain it to me? Because I have sometimes as a father, sometimes my daughters will say stuff to me like I'm supposed to know. Okay, I'm a dad, but I don't know everything. Ask the internet and then come back and tell me what it says, then I will be smart. Yeah. But and it's the same thing with boundaries. Boundaries play a really big part of us understanding that we're just trying to call a timeout to understand the whole playing field. We're not trying to put people and take them out of the game or put them on the bench. We're not worried about how they're playing the game. I just need a boundary here so I can try to process what's going on.
That's it. That took me, why do you know that in one sentence? That took me like 20, 30 years to understand.
You really want okay, here's the answer. My father, you think I talk to you a lot. My father talked to all of us, all of his children, all 7 of us, so much that he said, whatever I tell you today, you're going to get it 5 or 10 years from now. He used to always say that. I used to get so frustrated. I said, no, just explain it. I just didn't understand it. He said, no, it'll make sense. You just got to go through some stuff and it all makes sense. Mm-hmm. And so I went through stuff, and what he said many years ago was what people are talking about and get paid 6 figures for to get online to tell people. I joke a lot. My father should have been a millionaire, because the stuff they're saying in such an eloquent way and giving it these labels and terms. He was like just a country boy. He just a country boy. He just sits here and go like, "Oh, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen." You're like, "What are you talking about?" Well, he shouldn't do it that way. Well, how do you know he shouldn't do it? He just shouldn't do it that way.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, he shouldn't do it that way. He should do it this way. And now I hear people, no slight to Jay Shetty and everybody else. I hear them say stuff and I go like, my dad said that 30, 40 years ago. He said that before he died. But it's the way we look at things. So many will have an opportunity to look at something and make it better, or they can look at it like the nightly news and just point out that something's wrong. And we had that discussion about doing a channel. I mean, what kind of channel we're going to make? I'm not going to sit here and have a channel where I'm just angry. The narc is such a horrible person when there are over 8 billion people on the planet, and I'm going to waste my time having a show that goes on and on about one person.
Yeah. No.
Or those types of people. And so that's what another thing I learned from you. One of the things I appreciate is that you highlight the fact that, okay, we need to try to, I get that happened, like there was an emotional burglary here. There was an emotional burglary. There was a break-in. I got that. But we need to now assess everything, process everything, and we need to start looking at getting a security system that's better than the one that was just broken.
Exactly.
And some people go like, well, wait a minute. I want to understand, why did they go through that window? Okay, that's very important. We need to look at trying to get a security system, but you're negating what I went through. No, I'm really trying to say, if we just put up better parameters, or we start to almost think like a criminal to understand where they can get in, we can start to see where we're vulnerable, or where it's not our fault, but maybe we can learn from this. And those discussions, since I've been doing this 5 years on this particular subject, I find it fascinating. So many people will have an affront to that. And I find it fascinating.
I get it.
Because if somebody broke in their house, how long would you keep an eye out for a burglar, but how long would you leave that area vulnerable? You would try to put some type of boundary there.
I think it has a lot to do with the topic of shame and guilt.
Yes.
And we know that also abused children, raped women, they feel shame and they feel guilt, which to the mind does not make any sense. But in terms of psychology, it does make a lot of sense.
Yes. Yeah, of course.
And it also happens to men and women in toxic relationships. They feel ashamed. They don't want people to know. And
their dignity has been attacked and undermined.
And it has been attacked.
Their human dignity from these knuckleheads, from these bad people, have been undermined. So there is shame.
That is a reality. Yeah. And that is a reality we need to name, that we need to say out loud.
That's more important than focusing on the narcissist. It's better to try to restore that dignity than that's just me.
What I'm seeing is that the narcissist's behavior is so outrageous. I mean, there's double standards, there's lies, and you go like, seriously? If there was a movie, I would go like, who came up with that terrible storyline?
Who came up with that script? That is so pathetic of a script.
Right. But, and then of course
they carry it everywhere. Yeah.
And of course I call a friend and go like, do you know what just happened? Could you possibly imagine this totally crazy behavior?
Yeah.
And that's the hypnosis. It's so outrageous that we go like, I can't believe this is happening. And it keeps us focused outward.
That's the key. That's it right there.
It keeps us focused outward. That's one thing. We are like a hypnotized rabbit, you know? And also, that's the side effect. It keeps us in the victim role.
Yeah.
We are a victim, period. I'm very clear in toxic relationships, there is a perpetrator and there's a victim.
Absolutely.
In toxic relationships, in narcissistic, in psychopathic relationships, it doesn't take two to tango.
Yep.
There's a perpetrator and there's a victim. But we need to find that door, and we need most of us need some help to find that door, to go like, I am a victim. This happened. And I'm going to leave this now. I'm going to step out. And you need to find someone else to play that game. Because as long as we don't step out, and I don't like the term much, to take responsibility, but it's like, it's just seeing, it's a dead-end street. If I continue to do that, and if I continue to be available for that crazy game, it's a dead-end street. So I don't know what I'm doing, but I need to end this.
Yeah, it's better being. I'm saying something that I guess her name is Kathleen was on, and she said it's better. She's in her she was in her 60s now. She's probably in her 70s now, but she said she was approaching 70, and she says Paxton, it's better to be a 70-year-old who's free from narcissism and moved on with my life than being an 80-year-old still trying to figure out how to make this narcissistic thing work.
It's so strong, isn't it?
And she's only free. She's since remarried and everything, but she's only free because she stopped playing the game, even though they were in the same house, still married.
Wow.
She just stopped playing the game. She knew nothing about it. Her choice was, I'm still here, but I'm not playing the game. And literally told him what I'm saying right now, but much better than I did. She said she made a great meal, the whole thing, sat him down and says, okay, I'm not eating with you, but I do want to tell you something. One, your food is not poison. She literally said that. And then two, she said
it is not poison.
She says two, I'm not playing the game anymore that we've been playing for like years or whatever. And then three, I'm not going anywhere. And
holy cow.
I can't remember. It's not a year. And it's not 2 years, but somewhere in between there, he was done. He literally walked out and left her with bills and everything. She'd rather had that than him be there every day. But she didn't tell him to leave. She said, I'm not leaving you, but the game is over. I know what you're doing, and the game is over. Mm-hmm. You decide to do whatever you want to do, but the game is over. Mm-hmm. Because she wasn't like an ultimatum, like you change and all that kind of stuff, like some people try to do with the narcissist. It doesn't happen anyway. It's like, she was a great guest. I was editing the show the other day. I look forward to finishing it and putting it up for everybody to see it. But there are a lot of powerful people, but sometimes, and I'm a little biased as a father of 2 daughters, there are some very strong women. There are a lot of powerful women who have shown themselves to take the initiative to stand up for themselves, to not play the game, to call things out for what they are, or try to learn and understand it, but at their pace, not in comparison to some other woman or comparison to some other story that they read. And I know my listeners, all of you, please be mindful of this. You've heard me say it many times. Stop trying to compare your story to somebody else or their results to where you should be. My daughter reminded me of something the other day. A friend of hers told her, because where you're trying to go, it's just not prepared yet. So where you are, just make the best of where you can, depending on whatever the situation is. And others will say, I had one guest say, well, Paxton, you don't know what they're going through, but they do. So they have to make the decision to be, what you said a moment ago, accountable for the future, not be locked into feeling shame and guilt for what has transpired. But the future is really up to how much they get exposure to people who are trying to help them. I mean, I look at you and in a subject like this where people are trying to make their life better, trying to understand it, you really try to give people information so that they can make a good decision. That's kind of the way people see you, even on this channel. They like listening to you because you're not forcing them or telling them exactly what to do, but you're presenting them with, like you just mentioned about accountability. Just the way you said it was like, have you ever thought about looking at it this way? So when you send me a link, and I'm going to pull this over here now, you sent me, I just looked at what you sent me, The Life After the Narcissist, Roadmap to Healing After Narcissistic Abuse. Now, if it's your first time passing through here, or you catch this video or some other stuff like that, or whatever the case may be, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a guy on the street talking about mental health. 95% of whatever people come on this show to talk about when it comes to narcissism, I have not experienced. I found out about narcissism from an old guy. His name is Lanny Jenkins. And he showed me stuff on a computer and everything and said, this is what narcissistic abuse is. And you need to be careful with the people you deal with and whatever. And these people are showing these traits and da, da, da. And I went like, I had never heard of it before. He has since died. But the information he gave me, I took a deep dive into and looking at it. And I didn't know people like this existed. But I also didn't know people like you, Julia, existed with programs like this. So I'm going to be putting a link in for everybody so you can check it out. Our audience has changed a great deal, in which it's gotten younger, even from 16 to 35. So some of you know who you are. You keep asking like me and us on NATV to come up with a course, and I keep answering you back when I do answer you and say, that's not going to happen. I just don't have the time, because we put on a lot of shows and a number of different channels and showcase people that do a number of different things. But Julia has something that you can utilize, and others will have something. All of my guests today, I will be putting links in for different things that you can take full advantage of. You don't have to try to do things as if you don't know what you're doing. You don't have to do things as if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's a big thing I say in my house a lot of different times. I used to say it a lot to my son. You don't have to act like, oh, I just have no idea what I'm doing, so it's like a crapshoot. I'm just going to take a chance or whatever. You don't have to go through that, because there's enough people who went through enough pain before you were born to be able to help you.
Yes.
There are enough people who have gone through enough pain. Where's the camera? Right here. Enough people have gone through enough pain, you don't have to worry about ever touching that pain. You may be in a situation that has you confused. That's the sign that pain is on the other side of confusion. So consider this. Connect with Julia. You watch a show, connect with anybody you see. It doesn't matter who it is. Just connect with them if you think it works for you. But in your... Yeah. Go ahead, Julia. You're going to say something? I'm just going to pull this up. You sent me.
And I really would like to emphasize what you just said. Two things. In my words, I say you're not alone. You're not alone. Many think they are alone because they have never heard about toxic or narcissistic abuse.
Absolutely.
So they go like, this is only happening in my house. And then they come across a show, they come across a book, they come across, they go like, holy cow, this is happening in other places too.
Yeah.
So you're not alone. You're not alone. There's people who have gone through the thing, who have come out the other end, or come out the other end to some degree. So they might be a couple of steps ahead. And if you feel drawn to that person, then just connect with that person.
Absolutely.
Connect with a person that knows the territory. Because I keep saying narcissistic abuse is misunderstood and not recognized even by many, 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 many therapists, because it's not necessarily taught. So connect with someone who knows what they're talking about. That's really something I like to emphasize, because it can be re-traumatizing if you speak with someone who goes like, yeah, but it takes two to tango. Why are you really the whole thing? It can be re-traumatizing. Right. So that's the one thing. You're not alone. There is someone out there.
And be careful with people that talk to you like that out there, everybody. You chose that person. Well, you should have picked better.
Exactly.
All this kind of foolishness people
that's crap.
Hey, you tell them to come see me. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But
Yeah.
be careful who you let into your head again.
Especially
Because
when you seek healing, and especially when
yes,
you
yes,
seek help.
yes.
There's enough people who have gone through this, and also another thing, you said it earlier, Paxton, you don't want to have a channel raging about one
Yeah, right.
person, toxic person. I'm saying I try to avoid to add charge to such a charged topic.
Yeah.
So if you can connect with someone who is not coming on with a lot of charge, that means they haven't worked through their own story yet, through their own pain yet.
They're
And charge meeting
easily triggered
charge,
too. Mm-hmm.
easily triggered too, and charge meeting charge does usually not lead to healing.
Yeah. It leads to getting drunk. It leads to doing something stupid. It leads to slashing tires. There's stuff that should not be done. But go ahead.
And I wanted to add something to what you said earlier. I really do not feel in the position to tell people what they need to do, because I'm not walking in their shoes. I can share experience and expertise and the whole thing. And we need to honor each person's reality.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the example that you gave of that woman and who just said, I'm not playing the game anymore.
Yep.
Because for many, I'm now saying women because it's mostly women. For many women, it's not possible to leave yet. For children, for money reasons, for dependency, for maybe physical violence, whatever. But we can minimize how much we play the game for the time being. Leaving is not...
Can manage it. Can
exactly.
manage.
Leaving is not always the best and safest solution for the moment. Sometimes things have to be prepared if it's really more dangerous, right? Yeah. So it's really, how much do I get drawn into the manipulation? How much do I get drawn into the toxic behavior is something that we can, with some help and with some sane people in our team, that is something that we can work on, even if we need to stay in the relationship for some reasons for the time being.
The words that you use here, you sent me the information and the link. I want to, I'll share this with everybody here, what I'm looking at. And you give thought, you give usage as you see fit. I'm going to go to the third paragraph. It says, this course is ideal for those who have left a relationship with a strongly narcissistic person. That could be your boss. It could be a generational family situation. It could be a number of things in which you have decided that toxic bully, you have to stay at an arm's length or whatever the case may be. So the course that you're offering to the public can deal with those situations and so forth. But it's the second sentence. It says this: survivors who long for emotional freedom and want to learn to stay clear from toxic people. That alone, I should now use as a line to explain what NATV is. Because it is your ability to choose your preference for peace that is under attack. Not your character, not your principles, not your values, because they'll just go to another person and ignore theirs. And what are they attacking? Your ability to be a free moral agent. Your dominant mental attitude is under attack when you're dealing with a toxic bully. Yes, the common term in social media or in a diagnosed standpoint is NPD or narcissist. But let's just say the entire world is a playground and there are bullies there. How do we navigate if we're a kid or a few good friends are going out to play when we know there are bullies? We're not going to ignore. We may even have an eye open one of our friends, us, as to where they are so we can stay away from and avoid them. They don't want to tear down your character because it's kind of hard to tear down something that is that close to who you are or your principles or your values. They want to change your character, change your principles, change your values to become more like theirs. But how much can we spend time looking at them when, Julia, you say it so well? This course is ideal for those who, notice, left a relationship with a strongly narcissistic person. And anytime we think of leaving, sometimes it could be what you were talking about. Somebody's thinking about packing their stuff and going. But you may see that emotionally, you have to be careful with the landmines that they lay down to blow you up emotionally inside. So a course like this may work for you. You have to check it out. I recommend that you do because I talk to Julia a lot and I know her mindset, what she's trying to achieve. Survivors who long for emotional freedom and want to learn to stay clear from toxic people. I apologize. You were going to say, please.
You were just saying our being is under attack, something like that, you said.
Our character, our principles, and our value.
Yep. And then
what makes us us, in other words, is what I was trying to say.
And I do have clients who grew up with a toxic parent.
Parent? Oh, wow. Wow.
Many people who end up in relationships, when we dig a little deeper, we go like, oh, that wasn't really exactly safe and healthy and respectful and stuff.
What you mean when you're talking about the parents, you look back? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay.
And so where I'm trying to go here is that person that finds her or himself in that toxic, undermining relationship, being so profoundly manipulated and attacked, might never have built a strong sense of who they are. I see that all the time.
Backbone.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Uh-huh.
So it all is already like a construction area because it's very, it's very unstable. And then
you can hear the noise, you have things going on and this is happening and the cone's there, jackhammer's
it's not
going.
like really solid, it's not a solid sense of
bunch of stuff's happening.
This is what I stand for. This is
so
we can actually take it one step further. It's very often we first need to not even rebuild a sense of I, but build a sense of I from scratch.
Right.
Basically.
I get you.
And that's one therapist once said so well, that's the opportunity. You get to put yourself together the way you like it.
From that demolition that they were attempting to do, they have no idea how much fortified you're going to be because go ahead and say what you're going to say. And I'm going to tell you.
You can basically pick the pieces and for many survivors, regroup them. Yeah. And for many survivors, it's really raising from the ashes. I know this sounds like super phoenix raising from the ashes, but it's like, it's a slow process. But this time it's solid.
It's different.
This time
because you're doing it.
Well,
you're pouring the fun.
That person.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That person is doing it. They're pouring the concrete now, not the caregivers.
Not the caregiver, not someone through their filter, even with their best intention, with their own story. No. Now you do it.
Yeah.
And that's solid. And it takes time, but that building's going to last.
Yeah.
So that's
even if it's for the last 10 years of your life, the last 5 years of your life, or I'm going to throw out a name right now. Tim McGraw, country western singer, Tim McGraw here in the States, Julia, Tim McGraw says the last 30 years of my life can be essentially the best years of my life, because he's gotten older now. Now it's like my turn now.
Yes.
And so that's kind of where many of you are. That's where a number of people are. They're getting to that point where what's powerful to them is what, well, like Zero is saying, is our ability to keep our free will. You're not going to be bought into a narcissistic cult, as it were. You're like, I'm done with the game. I'm not doing this. But Julia, you're saying they can not really rebuild, huh? It's like you're now able to look at the pieces. What I was going to say, there's a thing that I often use. I think it's the first time I'm actually telling you for the first time. And I keep it in front of me all the time, along with some other things, as reminders for me. And one is, you're able to review what you need to do. Then you can restore what you need to restore, because not everything needs to go. Not everything that was taken needs to be put back in. Some things need to just let it go. And if they really wanted it, now that I look at it, I should have never even had it. It's kind of, and that could mean many different things to whoever is hearing this. And thank you, Zero, for your comment, by the way. I'm going to get to that. When we review, when we restore certain things, when we start to replenish things that we really do need, then we can rebuild. Because that's what happens when you go to make a house. You don't just start rebuilding something. You don't just start rebuilding when you're after dealing with a narcissist. We have to look at not just what happened, but what needs to take place in the moment, so that you know what to do the next day. Go ahead, please. Go ahead. You're going to say, I'm sorry, Ray. Yeah, that was my dad moment. I just had to throw it out. I'm real big on the four R's, starting with review before you rebuild.
I love that.
Go ahead.
I really love that, Paxton. When you spoke, I had that image of earthquake came up.
Oh, there you go.
You know,
that's a good way to do it. Yeah.
I think when you've been in a toxic relationship, at a certain point you find yourself and your house is in pieces. And it's not about changing the wallpaper, No. And it's not about, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
They're better than the other. No. It's a crazy mess, and everything, literally everything.
It's the same exact thing. Yes.
That's the exact thing. So
and you don't go out and go buy new furniture either, thinking it's going to be all okay. You don't just start putting it on top of the rubble and just put new furniture, nor do you think, I'm going to have this done in a couple of days.
Exactly.
There's a lot of emotional processing along with physical, mental processing that all has to come together over time.
And you might not even want to rebuild.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was thinking that right now.
You might not even want to rebuild the house that you were in, or that you were. You were. No, you might, from that stuff, you go like, do I need this? Do I want this? I throw it out. Do I want this brick? Throw it out. Do I want, that brick's great. And it's a whole process. I love that we talk about that because it becomes clearer in myself as well. It's a whole process of getting to know oneself deeply with your own pair of eyes.
Yes.
Not with your parents' pairs of eyes, not with the partner's pairs of eyes, with your own pair of eyes. And many clients tell me, you know what, I'm not as bad as they always told me.
I've heard that so much over the past 5 years, and I didn't know people were living like that. I'm fascinated by it.
And they go like, this is like the revelation of the...
It's like, I'm really funny. It's like, I'm going to go like, yeah, you are. I don't understand. Well, when I was with the narc, and I'm going like, who cares what they really, really thought? But I could see where it did matter to certain situations and certain people.
Of course.
Where others can totally throw it off. I've met other people, Julia, and they're like done. And it's like, they could care less about whatever they're doing on social media, whatever. I'm living my life, and I'm glad I got out of that. It's like, I'm glad, they only broke my window. It's like, I'm
glad I'm not broke, and I'm still alive.
I'm not broken, that they just broke my window. And then others, there's a different point value or system in mind, in their mind, that they need to process or review it a certain way. But when it comes to a course like what you have here, is Life After Narcissistic. Am I saying it right? Did I say it right?
Life After the Narcissist.
Life After the Narcissist. Finding Peace After Narcissistic Abuse is the course. And we're real big here on NATV. We really like people coming on that have something to sell to our audience, because I know many of you tell me, hey, does that person have a course? Hey, does that person do one-on-one coaching or whatever the case may be? I do want to put this part in. This course is your roadmap to step out of the narcissistic hypnosis, regain focus and energy to create a more peaceful and happy life. The peaceful and happy life may seem as a pipe dream, something that is a fantasy. The ability to wake up every day or to go to bed at night without the threat of an enemy in your home is priceless. Yes, there may be debt that still needs to be cleared up. There may be papers that still need to be signed. There may be other things, but grabbing hold of being able to go to bed with, or walk through your house without having to see if somebody's going to, as it were, do damage behind you. The smear campaign may be happening all outside your home, but it's not coming from within your home. Because at one point that person was in your home smearing your name. You made a good step by getting them out, or they moved themselves out. But your words that you put here are very important, because you mentioned a roadmap.
Yeah.
The choice of words you use are quite fascinating to me. Again, and many of you have been with me for 5 years. Some of you are new. I say the word fascinating quite a bit, and interesting, because all of this, because I'm not an expert on any of this stuff, I find it all, again, fascinating. I'm just going to give me a t-shirt. I'm going to tell my daughter to make me one. Fascinating and interesting. But go ahead. You were going to say.
I'm basically laying out that course in 3 steps.
Okay.
And you said the steps earlier without knowing them. Because all three is relevant. So
yes. Okay.
What do I need now? What do I need now to deal with the situation that I'm in? What do I need now to discharge this super stress? Which practical tools do I need now to get through what I'm in? So that's like urgent healing now, like immediate. And then in the second step, it's what we also spoke about, is healing the past. It's like, okay, let's go deeper. Let's go into what happened before I even ended up in that relationship. What made me What made me vulnerable to be with a person like that? What happened? What's happening in me that I wouldn't go like, I think you're a total dumphead. I'm out of here, or whatever. So there's something. So that's another part. And these things can also happen simultaneously. It's very tailor-made to that individual situation. But what I'm trying to say is, we cannot deny that there's stuff that needs to be done right now, that needs to be addressed right now.
Absolutely.
There's also practical tools that we need right now to just keep stuff together, basically. And then the third part is what we spoke about, is that building, and maybe for the first time, building that healthier version of myself, that, that house will be work in progress, but it will have a very solid foundation. And that's what we lay out.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
And always with practical tools, like how do I communicate without getting drawn into the manipulative loop? How do I relate if I have to relate in any way because we share custody, or, always very practically, because I acknowledge that this needs to be dealt practically.
And the neighbors are watching as this house is being rebuilt. They know what it was like before when that person was there in that house. So many have had the story and passed it on our show or in private with me, highlighting the fact that even neighbors could tell. And they could tell, and it's like, we're glad he's gone. yeah, all she did was really just use you and your kids. They got out, they were watching the whole time. And hey, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a struggle. Come over here for meals sometime, but you're going to be just fine. You're going to be better off going this direction. And it's
Yeah.
not your fault.
Yeah.
Zero says in the chat, we can't heal the past by ignoring it and denying it. Survivors must deal with it head on by studying our own works is where our real answers are. So there are a number of different things that we can implement to look at, yes, how the situation took place, or hey, everybody be bored with my non-course speaking, where I say review everything. I mean, if you're going to build something or you're going to look at what happened, there's always a review board. So you may be in that moment right now where you're reviewing everything. But there are certain things, as Julia highlighted, you need to do immediately. There's certain things you need to secure to protect your loved ones, yourself, immediately. And you
Right.
don't have to always do it loudly. You can quietly go about doing what you need to do.
Absolutely.
It shows that you are being shrewd about it. You're being careful and mindful to review everything. I'm all for you guys. I'm just going to say it again. You review everything, and then you get into that phase, whether if something's being built or something. A great example, horrible to have happen. I live in California. It happen all the time out here. Earthquake. When an earthquake happens, everybody looks to try to restore the water, the electricity. They make sure everybody has, of course, tons of water, of course. Make sure everybody's safe. They're trying to restore as much as possible that has been cut off. So after you review everything, go into restore mode. Do not go into rebuild mode, because rebuilding needs when you're going to build something, or rebuild something, it needs a good foundation. Similar to what Julia was talking about earlier. Be mindful of that, please. I'm not an
It needs
expert. I just play one on YouTube, but go ahead. You're going to say what?
It needs a good foundation. And just think in the metaphor of rebuilding or building a house, you want to have an engineer by your side. You're not going to go like, oh yeah, let's hang on. That should work more or less, because it'll break down quite likely. So resources like NATV courses, not everyone can afford coaching.
That's right.
But there's a lot of really good content. There's books that are not too expensive. And I know that's the problem with books. When we live in that kind of situation, we usually don't have the bandwidth for a book. That's the problem with the book. We can't concentrate for more than 3 pages. So that's why your work, Paxton, is so important, because people can listen to it and can stop it and then come back to it like in 3 days, or when they have another 10 minutes.
That's actually what happens. That's literally
they have another 10 minutes when the kids are asleep, when they feel safe enough, when whatever. So that's why this is so important.
That's very good. That's exactly how this channel is, literally 10 minutes at a time. I'm not making it up. People literally tell me that. That's because they can't. Just because a lot of them still have to go to work, Julia. They still got to go provide. And they still got to do other things. And like you said, they don't have time for the book. But what's interesting too, they love meeting the authors so they can just give them a synopsis of what's the point, and they can learn it. The same thing with your course. They get to kind of extract something from it, so they can say, I may not have all the money right now, but that's, you know how it is when you want to buy something. I'm going to try to do that.
Yes.
But if not, if we're not having this discussion and they don't know you have a course, I mean, that happened the first time you came on. People were like, okay, we really like that lady, but does she have a course? I know you said that, but I don't see anywhere to get it off of our page. And we sent them your direction. But that's kind of what we're looking at here when it comes to narcissism. What is that we're looking at? I just said that's what we're looking at. Well, what do I mean by that? What we're looking at is you don't have to stay, quote unquote, prey or a victim. You can watch and listen and learn, but I kind of like the engineer part. you need someone maybe along your side to give you some support. Outside of many of you, I know many of you pray, but sometimes you may need a therapist, a professional, a coach, whatever you explore, make sure you're doing it for your nervous system more than you're doing it even for your children, because your children need you to have a good nervous system.
Yep.
If your nervous system hasn't been addressed and you're dealing with your children, be careful. Just be careful. Because the last thing we need to do is project upon them our nervous system to them. So take care of yourself. Be really, really careful and take care of yourself. Julia and I, we're gonna go right now. Julia didn't know that, but we're gonna go right now. I do want to get a chance to talk to you just a little bit when we're done here, because if not now, then of course we're gonna get together on Monday, I believe, right? I think that we're doing some on Monday.
Yeah.
I just want to remind everybody some of the words that are here, some of them that I didn't read. So please just, everybody, I'm going to read. Narcissistic abuse is widely under-recognized form of complex relational trauma, is what you have here, Julia, is what you write. It fragments our sense of self, disrupts inner orientation, and erodes trust in one's own perception. Now, everyone here, or whoever hears this back, can agree with these words, possibly. I'm going to read from the chat. The chat says, Zero writes in the chat, most survivors are trapped in trauma, follows them sometimes with them being completely unaware of it. Is that true?
I'm not sure I understand that.
That they could be trapped in trauma and they don't even know that they're trapped in trauma, is what he's saying.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So everyone listen to these words that are here from Julia. It says, often leaving survivors in chronic confusion, self-doubt, similar to what you're talking about there, Zero, and psychological, notice, dysregulation, unable to meet daily challenges or form safe, nourishing connections. Why am I even reading this? Because my audience, all of you who have been loyal to us for 5 years, you know why I'm reading this. So you know you're troubled with these different aspects. And Julia asked the question in the next paragraph, does that sound familiar? Then this course is your next best step. The mindset that you have been exposed to is the mindset that has infected your family. But you have options. Whether it's Julia, you're always welcome here on NATV. I always tell people we're only trying to get 10 views per video. We're asking you to spend 10 minutes a month. If you spend more than that, we are happy. Find somebody that comes through our platform that has something you want. Go get it. And when you're done with that, go get another one. But one thing I'm asking everybody to do, and I'm going to use your terms, Julia, the narcissistic hypnosis, is that how you say it? I'm looking at it right now. That's a really cool term. People can get really caught up in that, right? That they can't see anything else or any way out, and they're in this loop of videos about narcissists to the point that that's all they see, and now everyone's a narcissist.
And of course, we need to learn about that condition first to recognize the red flags. And it's a way of trying to stay safe. And that has its place. And at one point we need to let it go.
Okay.
Go like, okay, now I'm educated enough to to see them coming, see a person like that coming. So now that's it. I'm not going to dedicate my life to study crazy people.
I was trying to hold back the laugh because that's that's the smoothest and the nicest way I've ever heard you talk about that subject. That is the calmest I've ever heard you talk about this. Instead of you going like, your people need to stop this. They need to eat your vegetables and stop. Yeah, man, I'd talk to you more on Saturday, man. That was the calmest
Saturday night.
because that's like they
Saturday
need to.
night.
Yeah, Saturday night, I should say. But even the chat is agreeing with you because he says it's hypnotic. Self-awareness blocks the hypnosis, is what he's highlighting from his perspective. This thing of getting so wrapped up about the narcissist, it happens from what I'm looking at and what I've watched others, it happens frequently to the point that you don't even see your own children anymore. And then they lose interest in you because they see that it can turn into an obsession. You can find other individuals online that have huge followings, and that's how they're making their money, by just getting you to be angry at what happened to you.
Yeah.
Please be careful. That's not my line. I stole that from Professor Sam Vaknin when we were having a private chat before we started the show. And it's just a thing that if you're not careful, that's all you will see is the anger of what was done. That's normal. It's a part of the process. But try not, please, to put yourself in a position that you can't see the other facets, beautiful facets of the process. There's a lot of growth on the other side of anger.
Absolutely.
There is a lot of living and happiness on the other side of sadness. And more importantly, there's a lot of time that you will spend with yourself that's just as juicy as being hypnotic about that I'm now alone and they're doing better. It's just not true. You got out free. And if that's not the case right now, Zero says it again, self-awareness is going to give you the building blocks to where you need to be. You're going to be fine. Whether you come back to this channel ever again or not, you're going to be fine, because you know not to keep giving someone who doesn't want you all your attention.
Yep.
Do not give someone who does not want you, your children, your family name, whatever it is, all the attention. That's just not fair to the people who love you.
And
protect your legacy, protect your name, fortify your children, but take care of your nervous system. It's been with you longer than your own children. Don't let your nervous system down. Take care of it. You'll be surprised what it will do for you, especially if you take it for a walk to a park or out in nature or anything like that. It'll return the favor. It'll give you a good night's sleep and make you think of something other than the person who doesn't deserve your time.
And let me just add that, Paxton, when we learn to befriend that part of our nervous system, that's the fight part, and not fight.
Yeah, right.
No, we can think of fight as protecting our children. Every mom, every parent can, every father can, every grandparent can relate to that. You know, I will fight to protect my child. And I know what
you're going to say, Julia. Go ahead.
So when we when we learn to befriend that part of ourselves, that part of our nervous system, because in most victims of narcissistic abuse, that's not that present.
No.
And when we learn to befriend that part and to inhibit that part just a little more, just a little more, you know, like that cat that goes like with that. And they go like, oh, I'll try that. Okay, how does that feel? Just a little more. It's baby steps. It's baby steps. It's baby steps. That's enough. One baby step will make all the difference. You hear a life like that. You hear one sentence that resonates with you. It will make all the difference.
That's all it takes.
A course, and there's one thing in that course for you. You run with it. That's it.
Yeah.
It's always only the next step that's for you. That's enough. Just the next step.
Because when you're with a toxic person, they don't want you to take one step. They just need you to compromise. You could stand still and just compromise your values, your character, go against the loyalty to yourself. That's what they want. That
That's
one
it.
act of worship from you makes their day. You put me before you put your anything, your children, your God, your
Anything.
job, anything. That means a lot to them. Don't do it.
Yep.
Hold your ground, stand firm, calmly deal with their all over the place imperfection, knowing that there's only so much you can do.
And knowing that you don't need to buy into it.
No, you don't. Of what benefit in the long run is it to all your organs inside? They've been with you longer than that person, than your own children. Take care of those things. Be good to that stuff. Your belly button's been with you longer than that person. And you don't even look at it that often. So it's just, there's just, I mean, I was throwing a joke in there, but overall, the bottom line is there are things that, and people and your own body parts have been with you longer that you take, if you're not careful, the narcissist will make you take care of them better than you take care of your own body.
Oh yeah. Happens all the time.
Yeah, it happens all the time. So make sure you're being mindful of what's taking place, and you're not shut up in the house and get outside. Stop watching us right now, because we're gonna go and go do something. Even if it's for 5 minutes. Get off social media. You ain't gotta watch us, but you need to watch Julia. But you ain't gotta watch me.
You don't
You
need
ain't
to
gotta come
watch
out and
Julia.
But
What I do when I need to resource myself, I look at the sky. I live in the
that's a good one.
countryside, and I live in Spain, and
so
the sky is
jealous.
mostly blue. And
Yeah.
I go like, my daughter is still kidding me. She goes like, "Mom, I know the sky is blue," because I go like,
Like, Mom, would you
"Wow."
stop? Will you just stop? Right.
Will you just
You go-
stop, please, Mom?
And you want to go, you don't know how many years I've never paid attention to the sky, period. But now I'm in Spain and I'm looking at the sky. I'm going to absorb all of this. I've been missing all kind of stuff.
And that's like, the sky is so blue.
Yeah.
And that's when I need to resource myself. I look at the sky and I'm like, the sky is so blue. She goes like, "Yeah, Mom, can we just do something else?" I go like,
It's just-
"Wow."
She will
So-
never forget that
That
you're
the
the
sky is
one that's
blue.
stuck in her. No, it's going to be. And when she's got a down day, that sky, she's going to finally look up and you guys are both going to be on the same page. And she's going to go like, hold on a second. Thank you, Zero. He says, take care, guys and ladies. Enjoy. We're going to
you
head out of
so
here,
much.
everybody.
Yes.
Julia, I'll talk to you in a second, or unless we can talk another time. We can talk another time. Is that all right?
Yeah, that works. I want to see what my child.
Yeah, go do what you got to go
Right,
do.
that's-
I will see you later. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody in a little bit, but I'll see you later. I'll see you on Monday.
We
sure.
see it on Monday.
Okay.
So everyone, take care of yourself, please.
No. You got to go last words of it. Last words. I got to say it. Last words. I got to edit it at some point. So I got to. So Julia, last words of advice for everybody, and thank you for popping in today on a Saturday. But go ahead.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really so happy to be able to speak on your channel, Paxton. I think this is really important for many, many people. And as I said earlier, this is, if you can just make the next step and be a little more kind and generous with yourself than you were, and be happy with the smallest baby step. I'm happy for you with the smallest baby step, because I know this will make all the difference. It has made all the difference in my life, and I know it does make all the difference in your life. So take care, be safe, and be a little more kind to yourself than you were yesterday.
Beautiful. You love it a lot. Appreciate it. I'll see you on Monday, my friend.
I see you on Monday. Thank you for
Big
that.
time. I appreciate you big time.
And
See you later. Bye-bye. Everybody, please make sure you go to Julia Zimmerman's YouTube channel and subscribe to her channel. And I'm going to put in the description for this video. I'll be doing it later today. I will be putting in the links for everyone that was on today It's just been an amazing day with two beautiful people. I have nothing really planned, everybody. So I'm going to play something that you've already watched, but I'm going to play it again for any latecomers so they don't have to thoroughly rewind, and then the show will end. Appreciate each and every one of you stopping by on a Saturday. And for those of you who know why I'm here on a Saturday, I love you a great deal. Do not give up the fight. And I have not forgotten about you. And I will continue to put on shows that are made just for you. Let's see. What do I have? I have no idea. That's me in a little box over there, you guys. Let's see here. I'll put something on for you guys. What's this over here? Ooh, I know. Let's do this. Let's see what happens. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe I need to do something different. I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go here. Uh-oh. All right. I don't know what I'm going to put on for you guys. I'm going to do something. How about if I did this? Nope. All right. You guys are going to get something. I don't know what you're going to get. Let's go over here. You guys are not going to get anything. First time ever. You're not going to get anything. You got me. You got me. Hey, you know what? I'm just going to goof off. I haven't used this thing in a while. Been busy. Here we go. You know what? You guys can take off. Everybody, thank you very much for being here. I'm actually going to just play around and see what else is happening with this stuff that I got. See what I got going on here. I don't know. This thing won't let me. Okay. I'm just hanging out on a Saturday. I got stuff to do, but I'm goofing off. What else I got here? Over here. I have so much that I've been editing. I've got stuff all over the place. I don't know what's happening here. Won't let me. All right, everybody. Appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to go enjoy beautiful weather outside. Check out, let's see, what can I tell you to go check out? I told you to check out Julia. Check out Breaking the Illusion. I think I can do that for you guys. Oh, look, I think I can do that one. Let's see here. What I got? This is a book you gotta get, people. Over here, we're gonna put this right there. We're gonna do that. Get rid of this guy. Let's see here. How's that? Everybody can see the book. At this point, I'm an audience of one. I see some of you still there. But please make sure you put your hands on this book. Let me get out of there. Let me find it. Go up to the top of her Instagram. Check out her Instagram there. So you check it out. We're going to hit that. Copy of the book. Breaking the Illusion. Do not sleep on that, everybody. Please. I'm going to see what else I can do. I haven't done a live with all of you in quite a while. No telling what the next song is going to be. I know many of you have said you wanted me to hang out with you. So I'm doing that right now like we used to. What is this thing? It's an intro. That one won't work either. I wonder if I do it over here. This is just me hanging out, everybody. You can stay if you like. Ooh, I wonder if I can do this. I'm playing with this thing, everybody. That's what's going on here. Let's see here. What if I do this? Check it out. I got stuff I can do. This right here. I think it's too big. Yeah, it's too big. All right. This is a perfect time for me to hit the road for you to make the best out of what you can do. Whatever you do it to the best that you can do. This is me goofing off on a Saturday. Because I can. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, it's me again. Oh, look, I can put this up. Get ready for the world. It's coming your way. Live streaming NATV Network. Later, people.